get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell.
And we are live. Surprise. Just out of the blue, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday night to you all. And tonight we are playing dead with our special guest tonight. First time on. Okay, somebody's being murdered downstairs. Sorry if you guys heard that.
It was a zombie.
Yeah, something's going on down there, but all right, let's hope for the best. What's going on, guys? It's first time guest joining us tonight, Gregory Van Abelar. Is that how you pronounce your last name? Abelar?
That's,
Van Abelar?
you got it. Yeah, wow.
Right on. I'm always like, I always like second guess myself when I like if you ever like see me on the show, somebody tells me their name, like I'm just like, oh, is it? Am I pronouncing this right? Am I pronouncing it? But I'm batting a pretty good average on that. But what's going on, man? Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I met you guys kind of briefly at the last Monroeville convention, which was so fun. And then I checked your podcast out and just everything. All the details you guys get into, I was like, all right, I need to be a part of this somehow. I need to be a guest because it's funny. I grew up with the Romero movies. I know them inside and out, and like you, they're so special to me. And it's just cool to meet people specifically at that convention that are so enthusiastic about it. It's pretty cool. Opposed to like, I'd have friends, I'm like forcing them to watch it for the 5th time, like, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's how it was for me growing up. Like I grew up in Kentucky and I was, I had friends that were into horror and stuff, but like the Romero stuff was like, they were kind of into it, but it's like I never really got to like just nerd out with people before until I went to Living Dead Weekend for the first time. And it's like I've said on the show, it's like meeting people that speak your language and you're just like, wow, okay, like this is cool. So then I've just
fluent quotes.
Exactly, like you can communicate with people just in quote. Just quoting the movies. I actually literally did that with somebody in the elevator one time at the old Doubletree Hotel. I was wearing a T-shirt with the image from Dawn of the Dead where Peter and Flyboy are robbing the bank, and they it takes the photo, and a guy just gets on the elevator and looks over at me, and he just starts quoting the movie. He's just like, "You never know." I'm like, "Hey, money, money, money." We're just it's you're on the same page, you're on the same wavelength. So yeah, after that,
perfect, baby, perfect.
yeah, you can literally just talk to each other that way. But
we'll say a lot of "we got this by the ass," like if something's going our way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I started the channel. I was just like, man, I want to just keep doing this. I just want to keep talking about this shit. Maybe somebody else will find it and want to talk about it with me. And it's pretty crazy how many people are out there that I never knew, just like people that are like not far away from me, like, geographically. Like some of my friends, like my buddy Will, like I met him at it wasn't at Living Dead Weekend. We actually he found me through this channel, and we ended up going to David Emge's funeral here in Evansville, and that's how we kind of met. But he's from Bowling Green, which was like an hour away from me all this time. Like, so it's just like, well, why have we not been friends until now? Like, it's literally taken 35 years for us to meet. But
yeah,
it's
the internet.
That works out.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Like, there's some shitty things about the internet, but there's definitely some good. So it works out.
Good things about it too, and that convention. I was kind of late to the game. The first time I went was in 2021, but it was always like because my partner's from Philly, so it was always like we could go to Pittsburgh, but it's a commitment, it's a jaunt, so we never had the chance. And then the convention started popping up. I started hearing about it after the pandemic, and we're like, let's just do it, and then we've been going almost every year since, and it's just been really special. And the people I've met, and just it's phenomenal. And just to be, the mall is still somewhat the same, like the pillars, and there's a lot still there that's very similar, and it's pretty cool. The ceiling, well,
it's like some people you'll go, and it's been 50 years since they shot Dawn of the Dead in there. So of course it's changed over the years. But like if you've seen the movie, if you know the movie when you're going in there, it's like, yeah, you know that it's the mall, you know.
That's
You
the
just
mall.
it's in the air.
And you can't not walk like a zombie for at least a minute. Like,
or go up the escalator like, you know, Clayton Hill, or, you know, or just like you said, immediately just start quoting the movie as you walk through the different areas, and you're just like, oh, that's where that was shot, you know.
Okay, I've done that so many times, the escalator thing, and I'll have my partner film it, and I'm never paying attention to, this is the genius, the golden part is you look at everyone else's reactions, like the normal people shopping, because I'm not paying attention to them. And you seem like, what the fuck is going on? You're just like acting out this stuff. One lady kind of ran away.
You gotta wonder if they're just, you know, some of those people are used to it, but at the same time, it's like you always meet those people that are just there to shop, that are just dumbfounded, like, what is going on? Why are all these people here? You know,
and there's some that were working at the food court, and they were like, "Why are you dressed like that?" I'm like, "There's a Living Dead," and they're like, "There is. I love that movie." I'm like, "How do you not know?" You know, it's just funny.
Yeah, I've had that interaction too. Like, we were out where the old airport, in Monroeville, where they shot down there, which is no longer there. But we were out there one day, you know, just messing around, just, you know, just seeing what we could find, you know, some little artifacts. And a car pulls up, and it's some guy from like New Zealand, or I think it was New Zealand. And he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, isn't this where they shot that film, Return of the Living Dead?" And I'm just like, well, you know, it's like it's Dawn of the Dead, but yeah, are you here? Yeah, it's like, are you here for the show? And he's like, "Oh, what show?" And I'm like, you're here from New Zealand. You know where this airport is and what was shot here, sort of. And you're not even aware that the convention's going on. I was just like, yeah, right over here at the mall, go. And he's just like, "Oh, I'll check that out." I'm like, you know, what are the odds?
Yeah, and then you feel like in a way you've helped these people. Their life is now better.
Steer them in the right direction.
Right place, right time. Oh yeah. And I like all the different stuff they do for the conventions, the reunions, and just they put a lot into it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very like homegrown vibe of a convention, where it's like a handful of people that really care and really want to do a good job, like busting their ass for the all year, really trying to put all this together, putting the sets together for the photo ops, and you know, getting the guests, and it's a unique convention, especially for these days, which a lot of conventions have become very, you know, big time corporate, you know.
For such a specific series, you know, which blows me away. It just shows what a genius Romero was and how ahead of its time, and the legacy he's left behind. It's still going stronger than I feel when he was alive. You know what I mean? Like you got Tino Romero, and you know, just it's going still, and it shows no sign of slowing down, which is pretty comforting, you know.
Yeah, I always wonder about that, because George never understood his legacy, never understood his appeal. He's like, I don't know why people like these movies. He always had that kind of attitude, but like, I wish he were around to see, like, oh, you know, 10 years after he passed away, like, people are still flooding, like going to the mall and celebrating these movies, you know, like you said, maybe even more so than they were when he passed, like in 2017. So I wish he were here to see it, or just to even know that he has a bust in the mall, like in the court of the mall.
Pretty cool.
Like, he would just look at that and just shake his head and be like, what is wrong with you people? Why? I don't know.
And I love the irony. He's buried in Canada.
Yeah. Well,
I thought he'd be at the Evan City Cemetery.
You would think, like, that's where I would like to be buried, but you would think, like, but yeah, he was living in Canada there at the end of his life, and I think he became a Canadian citizen. So I guess it makes sense that that's where he would be buried. But yeah, you just associate Pittsburgh with him, you know? Yeah. He started to transition into a real Canadian after a while.
Was Land of the Dead a Canadian production? Where did they film that?
That was shot in Toronto. Yeah, it's based off Pittsburgh, and they were going to shoot it in Pittsburgh, but it was just cheaper, more, you know, cost effective, I guess, to shoot it in Canada. So the, you know, Universal, that were, you know, people that were putting up the money wouldn't give them the money to do Pittsburgh. They were like, "Oh, you have to shoot it in Canada," which that's where he shot everything. You know, the last 4 of his films. So,
Did you see that one in the theater? Were you excited about that one? Because that was like
oh
the
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, that was like an opening night. Like that, I took a date. Like that was like it was our first date. I was like, we're going to see Land of the Dead, and I'm just like, no, it's like romantic or whatever. Like I don't give a shit. We're going to see Land of the Dead. I've been waiting for this movie for like most of my life at this point. We're going to go see Land of the Dead.
She's like, what's that?
Yeah, she was not aware of Romero or anything, but I was like, well, it's like you take somebody on a first date, it's like, let's go see a romantic comedy or something, or I'm like, no, let's go watch people get their guts ripped out for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And that's the test. You're like, if you like this movie, you get a second date.
yeah, it worked out. She was like, yeah, I kind of like it. And I was like, okay, you'll do.
You'll do.
Yeah, you'll do.
I remember that one came out kind of close to the Dawn of the Dead remake. So it was so different in contrast, probably to like the general audience, because you had this super kind of action movie remake with super fast zombies and everything is so ADD and like boom, boom, boom. And then you have Romero, who takes his time and sets up atmosphere and story. And so I remember it was kind of a shock to some of my friends who had seen them both almost kind of back to back. And oddly enough, they're paired together on like DVD sets. And I'm like, these are two different things. Not fair.
Yeah, I remember that DVD set. And I was always like, I think some people even mistook Land of the Dead as people that weren't in the know were thinking that Land of the Dead was a sequel to Dawn of the Dead from a year prior. I've heard that before. And it's just like, no, it's two different worlds going on here. It's Dawn of the Dead is a remake of a movie that is the precursor to Land of the Dead, but it's not the same thing. But
it was entertaining, but I just felt like I have respect for it. I can't say I'm in love with the remake, but whenever it's on and I'm watching it, it flies by. I'm like, so it serves its purpose. But
it's a sleek, well-made action film. Yeah, it's there's nothing that's gonna like keep you chewing on it for the next 50 years or whatever it's been since the original came out. But I mean, it's a fine little popcorn movie, I guess. That's the way I look at it. I don't know.
Well, and what's funny is the original Dawn of the Dead, you have like 80 hero zombies that are iconic, and you could take your pick. I can't even think of one besides the little girl in the beginning in the remake that stood out, because they were all kind of shadowed in the background, and there was no like iconic one really, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, you're right. I know that's always kind of been one of my gripes about a lot of modern zombie films. It's like, the older ones, they had character, they had personality. You could, like you said, you could pick them out, Whereas like the new ones, it's like they're overly made up, which, is just, the advancement of special effects and whatnot. But it's like after a while, they all kind of start looking the same, unless they're wearing, like a football jersey or something that you can literally pick them out from. But
which was so clever about George, because he was the everyman man. So like you're gonna see the football player, the nurse, the whatever, right? Electrician. Like they were like normal everyday people struck by this phenomenon, this extraordinary thing, which was part of his genius.
They are us, they
are
the whole thing. It's like they're us, they're us and we're them.
My dad took me to see the remake in the theater when I was a kid, the 91, and I'm blown away.
I think
that was cool.
I remember you told me that. Yeah, I didn't see.
I still remember.
See, Night 90 was my introduction to zombie films. Romero, that was the first thing I saw, because I was introduced to Resident Evil first, and I was like, oh, this is cool. What are these things? And my aunt at the time was like, oh, if you like this, you'll like Night of the Living Dead. Because everybody knows Night of the Living Dead. Zombies, Night of the Living Dead. It's, the most famous zombie movie ever made. She wasn't like a fan or anything, but she just knew of it. So I just remembered that title. And I found the remake at the video store. And I was like, oh, that's the one she was talking about. That's Night of the Living Dead. So that's the one I watched first. And yeah, I was just sucked in from that moment on. That was it. So.
It still blows my mind, that movie. It's so well made. It's contrary to what Tom Savini might think of it. it's a masterpiece. You know, like it's one of the better, best, probably the best remake I've ever seen of anything. Really, you know, it's
it's definitely up there. Savini kind of puts it down. I think he's warmed up to it a little bit over the years because I think more and more people have kind of warmed up to it over the years. But yeah, I mean, just and especially with the conditions he was working under, and you know the butting of the heads between him and Russo and Striner, and it was just like it turned out pretty good for a first time director. It was Tom's first time directing a feature, so I think
they're fighting like Harry Cooper and Ben.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like where do we go?
The location was amazing, the house, and I finally got to see it this year when we went to Pittsburgh, and it looks exactly the same. It was so cool to see that, and the barn, and the whole setup, and it's like, can't believe that was real.
Yeah, not a lot has changed. Like I've seen it. I've seen it from a distance because I've heard a ton of like horror stories from people that have tried to go down there and like knock on the door. And apparently, I don't know if the same owner still lives there or not, but apparently, like, I've heard stories of people going down there and like pulling into the driveway and guy coming out on the porch with a shotgun, and chasing you off with a shotgun. Like, I've heard that story a number of times. So I've never had the balls to actually like go down there and try. I'm just like, I'll just see it from up here from a distance, and that's cool. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. I was fine with the distance. Some guy kind of snuck a little close. I don't know who. It was on one of those forums, and he was kind of up to the back porch a little, and I was like, I could have done that, but I didn't want to, I value my life.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Like most people, when you go, especially like for locations and stuff, most people are pretty cool about it, and they're, a lot of people don't even know, so that they kind of, pique their interest a little bit. Like, oh, did you know a movie was shot here? Here it is in the movie. You can see, oh, that's where your kitchen is, and you can, strike up a conversation with people that way. But some people just don't give a shit, and they don't want you on their property, and just go away. Like, they're not interested.
They did that sadly out here with the Elm Street house. I used to live by it, and back then the owner that had it, like, they kept the door red, and and every October they put a Freddy Krueger standee in the window, so they were kind of on board, right? And this last owner grew the hedges out in front of the door, like, and they put a big fence in front of it, like they don't want anyone to look. And like, why buy it? Like, you're in this historic neighborhood that actually says these houses are historic, and whoever they are just assholes, and I think they drive a Cybertruck from what I saw. And,
well, it's one of those things. Like, it's like, you'd think that like they would be like hip to that before they bought the house. Like, the realtor would say like, oh, this house is kind of famous. It was this, and that may deter some people from buying it. But it's like, if you don't want that type of attention, don't buy that house. But I have heard from some people that like the red house in Dawn of the Dead, when you see it's like the red barn looking house in Dawn of the Dead, when you see the National Guardsmen stuff, you see it in the background. So that house is in Monroeville, and I was getting a tattoo at the mall last year, and the girl that was doing my tattoo actually owns that house. She lives there, and she doesn't care about the movie. She doesn't know anything about the movie. Nobody told her before they bought the house that people visit the house that are fans of the movie. And she was asking me, she was like, because I was getting a Monroeville Mall tattoo, and I was talking about the movie and stuff. She was like, well, that red house, I own that house. I live there. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And she was like, yeah, kind of not. Because like, it'll just be in the middle of the day, and like, there'll just be random people stopping in front of your house, taking pictures of your house. Or like, she said one time there was a guy just wandering through her yard, peeping in her windows and shit.
Oh,
it was like, and I was just like, I'm so sorry about that. Like, most people that are fans are like respect about this stuff, but some people are insane. So I apologize about that. She's like, yeah, that'd been nice to know before we bought the fucking house, but
there is a boundary level, absolutely.
Yeah. Try to be as respectful as possible. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, or it's like, take your photo and beat it, but I don't think you need to be looking through the windows.
Yeah. It's like, man, you don't even see the inside of the house in the movie. So what do you need to be looking in the windows for? It's like, come on.
Exactly. Is anyone home? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
funny.
like, hey, real quick, before we came on the air, I did get a super chat here. So as is the custom here on the channel, I'll hit you guys with this super chat video. So here we go.
You never know.
Money, money, money. Right.
Money, Mardi Gras. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. $5 for the super chat. I really appreciate it, man. As the #1 Romero channel, thank you. I might be the only one actually at this point, so it's it's by default, I guess. I'll take it. Why haven't you reviewed George's best movie, O.J. Simpson, Juice on the Loose? It's funny because that's actually come up quite a bit lately, because there's a couple of the VHS copies for sale on eBay right now of Juice on the Loose that I've been kind of looking at. But I don't know. Have you ever seen or heard about O.J. Simpson, Juice on the Loose?
No, I never knew that existed.
So,
All right.
so George back in the 70s, but in between the Crazies and Martin, did a series of sports documentaries of the winners, and one of them was a documentary on O.J. Simpson, who was one of the best football players in the league at the time. And so now it became infamous after O.J.'s whole thing in the early 90s, and it kind of blew up again, and it got re-released on VHS and stuff. So it's one of George's most infamous movies. It's an hour-long documentary. It's just a documentary about O.J. Simpson, but it's kind of interesting to look back at now because all the key players that we would come to know during the murder trial are featured, or some of them, like his friends and shit like that. So it's kind of interesting, but I mean, I'd love to do a whole retrospective on George's series for the winners, because George did some. Richard Rubenstein directed a couple of those episodes. Gornick directed a few of those episodes. So I would love to do a retrospective of that. I just don't know how many other people would like to hear about me talk about it.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. As Peter says, you never know. But Marty Gras also commented, just watched Creepshow tonight. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Really impressed. Savini's best role. Are you talking about his role as his effects or his role as the garbage man? Because Stesio saying, yeah, Tom's garbage man is a role forever etched in the annals, annals of film history. It's not a bad role, but his effects work in Creepshow, I mean, he considers it his best work because it was one of the only times he got to do like creature effects, with Fluffy and the cockroaches and stuff. It was very outside of Savini's normal realm. It's not my favorite, but I can't deny that it's some of Tom's best work for sure, and some of the stuff that Tom really hadn't done before or since. So I mean, I'll say that. Michelle, what's going on, Michelle? Say hi to everybody. Michelle, hello one and all with the old bub salute. We got Kenneth Costa. What's going on, brother? Kenneth Costa saying hello, stopping in. Stesio, always good to see Stesio. Stephen Oostrack Jr., what's going on, man? Howdy, campers. Howdy, Stesio. Or Stephen. Stesio, Stephen. Sta. We got Landrum in the house. Drone of the Dead, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Played Out 148's in the house. In my opinion, Savini was born to play Sex Machine and From Dusk Till Dawn, like De Niro playing Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull. I can't deny that. I mean, that's Savini. That's kind of his most synonymous role, I think, when it comes to Savini. Because even we were talking about Land of the Dead. I remember being in the theater watching Land of the Dead. It was a pretty packed house opening night. And when Savini comes out for his cameo role as Blades, people in the theater, I remember hearing somebody in the theater go, "Oh, it's Sex Machine." It's like they just associate Savini with Sex Machine, especially that generation. So yeah, I can't deny. I mean, I won't argue against that. Let's see. We got Fat Pig the Conqueror's in the house. What's going on, Fat Pig?
Classic.
Is it fat? Do we go Fat Pig? Do we go to the Conqueror? Yeah.
That's confidence.
Yeah. You know, I'm down with that. Bonnie Bailey in the house. Hello, checking in from Tennessee. What's up? You're closer to my neck of the woods, Tennessee. Watch the replay when I'm back home. Have a great time. We'll have a good time in Tennessee. Are you in the Smoky Mountains? Take a trip down to Gatlinburg for the summer. Not bad. It's one of my favorite spots. Grew up going there all the time when I was a kid.
I just got back from the Smoky Mountains, Dollywood.
Oh wow! Well, there you go. Look at that. On topic. Look at you. You were prepared to talk. Like, of all things we could talk about tonight.
I was prepared.
Smoky Mountains, Gatlinburg, Dollywood, and you're like, I'm going to wear the hat just in case. Yeah.
Pulling out of my bag of tricks here.
Matt saying 2021, Emery and I sitting on a bench at the biker entrance holding my night poster for Russ's signature to dry, and an old lady walked in and said, "Oh, it's the zombie thing this weekend." Yeah, that's usually, or people will be, I've heard people say, "Oh, it's the Night of Living Dead. Night of Living Dead was shot here." The funniest one I remember was the year that Miguel Nunez was there for the Return of the Living Dead. It was not this previous time, but the one prior to that. Was there for the Return of the Living Dead reunion, and this group of black ladies were freaking out that Miguel Nunez was there because that's Joanna Man. Joanna Man is here. Like, God, we got to go get Joanna Man's signature. You know, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And he has Joanna Man fucking 8x10s, I'm pretty sure. Mayor's in the house. What's going on, Mayor? Is that a Susie Sue figure behind? I see.
It sure is.
Look at that
Susie doll.
That's awesome.
She's
Mayor.
the queen.
I knew Mayor would pick that out. What's going on, brother? Michelle says, I have the OJ VHS. I actually don't. I have it. So it's funny. If you own the Bogus Witch Project, which is the DVD, the Pauly Shore, Blair Witch Project parody or whatever, that OJ documentary is actually a hidden Easter egg on that DVD for some reason. I don't know if it's referenced in the movie or not. I've never actually watched the movie itself, but it's featured as an Easter egg on the DVD. I don't know why, but I do own that. Wow. So I have it. I just don't have the VHS. Mardi Gras saying cool the trash man. Okay. Yeah, Tom's pretty good as a trash man. Him and Marty both. Good duo.
This role is really tapping into people, resonating.
Steven, never seen a man who looked more like a garbage man than Tom, a real method actor. Yeah, he fit the role.
There are no small roles.
Exactly. It's about what you do with them. You made me do this Alphiz Bonnie somewhere in the Smoky Mountain rain. Possibly. I don't know if she's still in here or not, but I'm just going to assume she's in the smoke because I don't know what else there would be in Tennessee unless she's hanging out down on Broadway in Nashville or something like that, which if that's the case, then Bonnie's getting toe up tonight. So have fun, Bonnie. Either way. And Mayor says, was Miguel on his phone the entire time? See, that's the thing. Like, I've heard that story before with Miguel, but I've met Miguel. I've been around him quite a few times at conventions. He's always comes across really cool to me, like just super personable, really cool. So I've never experienced that version of Miguel Nunez. So Stezio backing me up on this. I was on the second season of the TV show Tour of Duty with Nunez, and he was pretty laid back on set. So that's always been my vibe with him. Like, he came down in October. We were all staying in the same hotel, and he came down and ate breakfast and like went and sat down next to Grande and just sat and talked to Grande while he ate breakfast. Like, he's just a super cool dude. That's cool. All right. Good to see everybody in the chat.
Leprechaun 4.
There you
He's
go.
great at that.
We're definitely going to be talking some sequels tonight because you are the co-host of the Fright Court podcast where you guys give horror sequels their day in court, and I've listened to a few of those episodes over the past week, and it's really, really fun stuff. I had to listen to the Texas Chainsaw Next Generation episode. That was good stuff, and we're definitely going to be talking some TCM tonight. So
sweet.
because I did a show a few weeks ago where I was talking about movies that everybody hates, but I, love or whatever. And Next Generation was one of my top, and I just was like going off about like how much I like this, how much I liked it. And, I found out, Stezio is a fan. Like some people were fans of it too, but I've always just felt so alone in that opinion. So when I saw you on Facebook with the T-shirt, and I was like, oh my God, there's somebody else out there. And then I found out how much of a fan you were, and I was like, okay, this dude's fucking rules. All right, we're definitely.
I will die on that hill.
I'll be there with you. I just watched it again today. And I was just like, this is great. Like, how do people not like this movie?
It's beautiful.
All right, but as the custom with all first time guests, we're gonna put them up. We're gonna put them on the hot seat. 10 questions with Greg Van Abelar.
All right.
And so these are 10 questions, some Romero questions, some general horror questions, some general questions. Just answer them in as much or as little detail as you'd like. And it'll give everybody a taste of who you are. So question one, obvious question, favorite Romero film?
Oh, man. All right. Night of the Living Dead, the original. Yep.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, that was the one I first saw, and I had a fascination as a kid, and I still do now, of all the different VHS covers of it. There was a plethora to choose from.
Yes. There's actually a book that covers all of the covers, and it's just like, it's a thick fucking thing, and it's just, I still come across on eBay. Covers, VHS covers of Night of the Living Dead I've never seen before. And I'm just like,
it's endless.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, I am too. That's going to be a topic that I've thought about this. That's going to be a topic of a show coming up at some point. We're going to rank the fucking Night of the Living Dead VHS covers and just.
It's going to be a hard one.
We're going to be going for hours on end.
Oh,
all right, what about this one? Some of
that's art, man. Real art.
It is. I mean, there are some that are pretty cool that are just like, where did this come? It's like, this is a Zimbabwe cover. This was released in Zimbabwe. And you're like, that's pretty cool, actually,
Yeah.
But that's the thing about Night of the Living Dead. I mean, it being in public domain, it's everybody. If you had a distribution company that did VHS back in the day, like you did Night of the Living Dead at least once because you could, and it's just crazy.
It's blessing and curse, but
I've had that conversation with people before, like and that's my stance on it too. It's like I love Night of the Living Dead. I think it's a great film on its own, but I think it became so popular and rose to the level it has because it was playing everywhere at all times, and there were multiple versions. You could find that fucking movie anywhere. So it's like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because on the other side of the coin of that is that none of those people made any money off that movie, unfortunately.
For sure. But you know what's funny though? When everyone's all dead, you have immortality from this, and I think that's why it's more of a blessing because the money comes and goes. Everyone's going to know Night of the Living Dead probably forever. So I'd rather take that.
See, that's the way I feel too. It's like if I could just do one thing in my life, like Night of the Living Dead, like I'd be fine. I don't, money, whatever. Like I just want to be remembered. Like that would be nice.
Go Kyra. She's like, I'm on the cover of all that shit. I'm iconic.
She's posters. No shit. Kyra's awesome too. I don't know. Have you met Kyra before? She's super cool.
I have. She's awesome.
I was hoping you had. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Yeah. All right. Night of the Living Dead, favorite Romero film. Very cool. Question 2. Least favorite Romero film. One do you like the least?
All right. So there's none that I hate. I just need to give this one, and maybe this is a popular answer. I don't know, but I need to give it more of a chance. Survival of the Dead was my least favorite, but I know there's a story there, and there's a message, and I just need to really sit down and just tune everything out and just give it, but I don't dislike any of them, but that's the one I've seen the least. I've maybe seen it twice, and I don't know, I just feel like that might be the one. But you mean like his zombie movies, right?
Just any movie, any of his films.
Oh, then never mind. There was something about
Actually,
Martin.
I hate this fucking movie.
Yeah,
Wait,
there
wait,
was
wait,
actually
wait, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa,
Martin
whoa, you just...
freaked me out. I know I'm committing.
I did
the
not
biggest
want you to
sin.
go. We'll just let's. All right, Survival of the Dead is your answer. We're gonna stick with that.
Survival.
All right, Survival of the Dead is your answer. What about Martin? What, you don't like Martin?
It really, believe it or not, it freaked me out. And I don't get freaked out that much. Just how he's killing the women and putting them to sleep and then drinking their blood. I don't know. Things about that. And it's kind of raw and, you know, it's kind of lower budget. And I mean, that was the point, right? But instead of me like going, oh, this is so great, a lot of times I was kind of uncomfortable. Like, it's very well made and the acting is superb. It just, I kind of felt like I needed a shower. Like it's I don't know.
Well, it's effective,
yeah. It affected me. So maybe that's a good thing, right? There you go. Yeah, I know you had a Martin shirt. As I said, I was like, oh shit. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I got a Martin wall here. We're doing a Martin fan commentary next weekend, and you're just like, you know, Martin.
TV show Martin. What's up? No, but yeah. But it was good. Well, the actor is amazing. He did a great job. I just was like, ooh, he's such a creeper.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, there's actually a novelization of Martin that I read, and the novelization, the character's even creepy, like even more of a creeper, and even more disliked, like unlikable. Just But like, I think Amplis's performance as Martin kind of gives him some sympathetic qualities that it's because it's like I told John when I met him, I was like, your performance as Martin is incredible because you're everything awful. Like, you're a murderer, you're a rapist, you're a peeping Tom, you're everything that people shouldn't be sympathetic towards. But somehow, some way, we feel bad for you in the movie because you're just this confused, fucked up kid.
Sure.
And you don't see, like, if you read the screenplay, if you read the book, you don't get that really. But his performance, I think, is so sympathetic that it kind of, makes it more palatable, I guess, to me. But I guess not to you. You were just like, this is just weird.
Well, I mean, and I love, you know what it is too? I love vampire movies. I'm probably the biggest vampire nerd next to Romero nerd. And I think I wanted this kind of gothic-y, but like I was getting like serial killer, so there was that kind of with it too. But I'm going to give it a second look. I've only seen it once. But I love the acting. Like I said, like he's a wonderful actor. So I'll have to give it another look. Yes,
please do. Or don't. I was just about to end the show early. I was just gonna say, okay, I can't.
That's
but Matt's with you on here. Matt's with you. He says, yeah, Martin made me feel dirty the first time I saw it. So there you go. Yeah.
All right, there you go. I don't feel so alone now. Oh shit.
You're not alone.
But it's funny? It's like, I love Texas Chainsaw 4, and I'm glad you do. Do you know when people just say they hate it and I'm so stupid for liking it? You know what I mean? Like it's like we love what we love.
yeah. But that's totally okay. But for Martin's probably my second favorite movie ever made. So I'm like,
wow. All right.
Yeah.
I will watch it again. I will watch it again with
another
goggles.
Shot. Give it another
different
shot.
Goggles. Yep, you got it.
But you're not alone though. I've heard people say that before, like people that love Martin now. I remember, that were like huge Romero fans didn't like it when they first saw it either. They were just like, I hated Martin when I first saw it, but I watched it again and I kind of got a little more, and the more it just kind of grows on you like a fungus where you're just kind of like, it takes, watch it again. That's all. Yeah.
All right. Grow on me, fungus. All right, let's do this.
So Survival of the Dead. That's your answer. That's more
my answer. Yep. There you go. Wait, do you like Survival of the Dead? I wanted to ask you, like, what's your ranking on that
one? When I first saw it, I liked it quite a bit. As time has gone on, I watched it more and more. It's like the opposite effect. The more I watch it, the less I like it. I'm just like, I just find so much the little things that just don't work for me. Some of the humor in it, I'm just like, that's kind of corny. That there's no room for that here. Like, so it's definitely not one that I go back to often. I may watch it once every couple of years, which for Romero is very like rare. Like I'll even go back and watch like Monkey Shines once a year just to give it another shot. But yeah, it's
okay,
not
yeah,
much
that
fun.
one I didn't like either. The part with the monkey, it really bummed me out when he kills the monkey. But I know the monkey's evil.
Oh yeah, he's got
anyway,
that.
go on. I'm fucking this whole thing up. Next question.
Well, and yeah, I'm kind of there with you on Monkey Shine. So yeah, that's not as we'll just forget about the whole Martin thing. We'll just go Monkey Shine.
Forget about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I meant the TV show.
There you go. Yeah. Martin Lawrence,
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah,
not
there
great.
you go. Nah, exactly. All right.
Shanae, you know.
Shanae, what a drama queen, right? Shanae.
Yeah, really. All right. Question 3. What is Romero's best film? Maybe not your favorite, but what you think is his best film?
Dawn of the Dead. I mean, I feel like that's the main core of perhaps your podcast. There's a whole convention for, no matter what you slice it, no matter what kind of reunions you have, it's for Dawn of the Dead. Like that's the leading speed. That's the headway, right? And everyone, everything else kind of follows along with it. It is a masterpiece. It's still very relevant. He called out consumerism before even the boom of the 80s of consumerism. It's just pure genius, like all of it. And it's so well made. And there's so many versions of it. That's what I love too. There's like, you have the theatrical, you have the European, like it's like take your pick. It's like, what flavor am I feeling today? To me, I base it like, how many different angles can I see Sharon Hill? That's the one I'll watch today. You know, like, so it's so wonderful, and I never get tired of it. It's just, it draws me in. I'm like the annoying one where I'm like, I don't even want people talking to me. I'm really into it. I'm like focused into it. I feel like I'm there, and I'm just like quiet. You know, like I'm like really sucked into it every time. Dawn of the Dead. There you go. Yeah,
that's. I'm not going to argue with that one. I think you're right on the money with that one, man.
Yeah.
It's just all right. Question 4. Most underappreciated Romero film. Which one of his films do you think is underappreciated?
Well, you know, I don't know if it's changed with the times, but growing up, it was always Day of the Dead was underappreciated. But I really liked it because I thought the zombies were the scariest in that film. They were very nightmarish. They still give me anxiety to this day, how they moan and scream and like in the city. And so even though it was, I think, not the epic that people wanted, I remember when I was a kid, I felt it was very slow. I kind of, when I was really little, I liked the beginning and the end. I wanted the zombies. But as I grew up, though, it has a lot in common with the first one. It's more like dramaed out, like it could be a play if you really want it to be. But so much information is in that film of what's happening and all this like statistics, and just it's so well done, and it's emotional. The soundtrack is superb in my opinion. It just has that islandy flair, and Florida, and it's so wonderful. But I feel like it maybe now is getting its audience. It definitely has its hardcore fans. But as I was growing up, that was the one that people, I think, was the less popular one in my opinion. Yeah,
it definitely was, and I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I was exactly like you. I loved the opening and I loved the ending. Everything in the middle, I would just like kind of just fast forward through or not really pay attention, because I was like, I was like 12, 13. I just wanted some action, I wanted some gore. And but yeah, as time has gone on, and I'm kind of with you, and I think a lot of people have caught up too. I was actually having a conversation with somebody today. I was at a flea market just going through posters and comics and shit, and I found an old it's a book by Bob Michelucci where it's kind of covering all these magazines and stuff. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But we just started talking about Romero and stuff, and there was a guy that just walked up just out of random that was just kind of in the area and was just like, yeah, I think Day of the Dead is his best film. Everybody loves Dawn, but I love Day. And I'm like, I hear that a lot these days. Like a lot of people have kind of really come around on Day of the Dead over the years. And I think, it's like I was telling him, I think a lot of it is, it's kind of like with John Carpenter's The Thing. Like at the time, people didn't get it. People weren't ready for it. But as time has gone on, people have kind of caught on to what he was going for. and maybe people have become a little bit more cynical and a little more nihilistic than they were in the mid 80s. Because in the mid 80s, everything was Return of the Living Dead and Reanimator, and everything was kind of a fun. Everything was still playing off of Dawn's vibe, which was a upbeat. Like to me, I've always said Dawn of the Dead was the first 80s horror film. Like it has everything: comedy, action, adventure. That's what a lot of 80s horror film became.
Malls.
Malls, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't
what
get
better
more
setting
80s than that.
for an 80s horror film is fucking mall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Bummer
just
with
think.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, with Day of the Dead, the bizarre thing is it's been remade so many times and never good. like it's sad.
No.
They want to keep remaking that one, which is really bizarre. And I feel like you should learn maybe the first 2 times you tried to remake it. Like they made a show
it's a cash grab. The people that own that movie are just like, hey, we'll slap Day of the Dead on it, because they've had what 3 different versions, like Day of the Dead 2, the Day of the Dead remake, Day of the Dead Bloodlines. I think it's just like,
and a show.
Yeah, there was like that shot. Is that even still on the air? Is it still a thing?
No, well, you could watch it. I think it's on Tubi. I think it was only a season, but they have these like zombie hands, like flipping people off. Like I don't know what the purpose of it was. And I tried watching one episode, and I don't know. And it's bizarre. They call it Day of the Dead, yet almost all of them has like the first day of the apocalypse. And I'm like, Day of the Dead was always when it was kind of over.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't you just make Night of the Living Dead? Or I don't know, but it's just funny. Like they'll slap the name on.
Don't tempt them. They'll make another version of Night of the Living Dead too. So
we should make ours. Come on, let's do this.
I have ideas, but we'll go. Question 5: Favorite zombie film not directed by George Romero?
Ooh, gosh, that's a good one. I mean, the obvious one would be Return of the Living Dead, because it's just amazing. I mean, but if I could think of another one, of course, I'm on the spot. Maybe Dead Alive. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Okay.
Peter Jackson. That's a fun, zany one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Return of the Living Dead 3. That's my favorite one.
There you go.
With Julie. She's so, and the poster's so iconic, and I love the subject matter, and she's like this goth girl zombie that loves pain, but it's kind of like Romeo and Juliet. And that one I remember renting and buying so many times because there was different covers and different cuts, and I always had a fascination with R-rated versions and unrated versions because I love to see what was taken out and what wasn't and things like that. So I would say that one's pretty iconic for me. Yeah.
That's a good answer. That's one of those movies that it seems like I never meet anybody that doesn't like that movie. I like, everybody's usually like, oh yeah, Return of the Living Dead is great. Return of the Living Dead Part 2, some people like it, some people don't. It is what it is. Return of the Living Dead 3, everybody that I've ever heard talk about it, they're just like, oh, that's great. Like, that's a great one. And I agree. Like, that was one that I was really surprised by when I first saw it, because I just thought it was like, oh, it's the third in the series. Like, it's not going to be anything great, but it did its own thing. It had its own vibe to it. It wasn't trying to do another telling of the original. And I appreciate that. So
you're right. It did something completely different. It took the story in a different direction. It was, lack of a better word, it was this kind of fresh entry, and it wasn't like those jumping the shark sequels in the 90s, which I love, but like it wasn't like Michael Myers in a cult or Pinhead in space. It was still this zombie movie, but a different story of like what would happen if you want to just bring back your girlfriend or someone very close to you that died and you had access to this trioxin. It was just a cool, different story, but didn't stray too far. It was like accepted in the series. You know what I mean? Like, you could go with it still. It wasn't too far-fetched,
Yeah. That's a good answer.
God, hopefully I'm redeeming myself. I'm like, wow.
After the Martin thing, I have to judge your ansers now. I'm just like,
for sure.
Okay. All right.
This seat's hot right now. Oh boy.
All right. Question 6. First horror convention. Do you remember what your first horror convention was?
It certainly was. I mean, I do. The convention game. I always kind of read about them in Fangoria. Never even thought to go. I never looked beyond that. But the first one I ever went to was called Days of the Dead. How apropos, right? And
Where
I
at?
went because it was in Los Angeles at the time.
Okay.
And I went because my favorite person in the world, which is kind of a part of my story, was Miss Amelia Kincaid from Night of the Demons, and I wanted to meet her. And so my first convention and her first convention in many years. So we met, and long story short, we became so. But that's about the lineup. I think at the time we had Piper was there, so it was before he died, which was cool to see him. You know, so it was. I don't think they do them in LA anymore, sadly. Out here, it's Monster Palooza, but I'm glad I got to go for sure.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of the Days of the Dead here over the past couple of years. They have one. They had one in Atlanta last year that we went to. I just came from one in Indianapolis. Yeah, it's pretty cool. What year was this? How long ago did you say this was?
Gosh, this was probably 2013, 2012, one of those years.
Okay.
So a chunk of time, yeah. But I'd never gone to
yeah.
one. I never even thought they were. I don't know why. It was so obvious. Once I was there, I was like, "This is so, what the fuck?" You know, like but I just never did it, and I'm glad I did. You know, yeah, for sure, it changed my life.
Yeah, my first one was in 2008, and I didn't go to another one until Living Dead weekend in 2021. Like I just,
you're kidding.
It was
wow.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just. It wasn't. I don't know how to. Well, in my 20s, I was distracted.
Me too.
I was playing music. I was in bands. I was doing all that stuff in my 20s, and it was just like, okay, I met George Romero in 2008 at that convention. I met all the people that I wanted to meet, Tom Savini, everybody, and I was like, well, I just have no interest in going back to another one. And then until Living Dead weekend, and then you kind of get back in the flow of things, but.
Yeah, same in my 20s. I was more like into like indie rock and stupid like music and I don't know, like going to shows and I almost forgot like who I kind of really was, you know what I mean, like, and so kind of getting back into horror really kind of, I don't know, I feel like I'm the most authentic version of myself, which kind of goes with me as a child. Really, I think that's the most authentic time, who you are and who your interests are, and they kind of match up now, and I feel more full circle. But I think that's what your 20s are all about, though. You're supposed to just kind of see where you go, right? But so no, I didn't go to conventions in my 20s, so
yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
right there with you, which I regret now, because there were so many people doing, and that was back when conventions you could go and you could get, an autograph for $10, $15.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and all the people that were doing shows at the time, like, and all the people that I've missed that have passed away over the years, like
legends. Yeah.
And I just look back and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? But
I was totally. And now the autographs are, let's not even talk about how much they are.
Yeah.
After Living Dead Con, my credit card was smoking.
every year for me. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see. Question 7. Favorite. Okay, here we go. Favorite horror sequel. What is your favorite horror sequel?
Oh shit. Well, okay. Oh, easy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
All right, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, easy. Until they make a sequel to Martin.
That's an even better response.
There you go.
All right. Question 8. Most overrated horror sequel. Which one does everybody love that you're just like, I don't get it. Oh
man, that's a good one. Fuck. Well, man, these are good. I don't know. I think, well, some of the I don't know. Some of the. Do you have one? I would say maybe like some of the, but I like the Scream sequels. I was gonna say that, but I could do better than that. I'm just blanking.
Well, for me, like the one that always comes to mind, because everybody, for one, I like some of the weirder sequels in this
Sure.
series.
Oh yeah.
In Halloween, I like I like Halloween. Like I really like H2O. I like Halloween Ends. Like I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I like the weirder shit. And everybody, when they talk Halloween sequels, everybody's like, "Oh, well, they should have stopped after 4. 4, 4 was the last good one." And I'm just like, I think 4 is awful. Like I can't. Like I don't get it. Like I don't like the guy who plays Michael Myers. I think he looks like a dumpy old man or something. Like the mask is ugly. I think the performances are bad. The script is bad. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But like that's the one that everybody's like, oh yeah, 4 is good, but that's the last like great Halloween sequel, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I don't think so either. And it's funny because they did this comparison shot of the cover of 4, like the mask you thought you were getting and the mask you got. And it was not.
It's like the Temu version of the mask. Yeah.
It was
it's just
so
like
Temu. It was, yes, worse than Dollar Store. And that's something the sequel struggled with the people in charge of the masks. They couldn't get them right.
They could not figure out that fucking mask on any of those sequels. Even 5 is even worse. 5, it just looks, I don't know what the hell that thing was.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, and then like I feel his hair was lighter. I don't know, like they in 5 they kept having it kind of flare out. Like it was always tucked in, if I remember correctly. Like it just looked a little different. And the house in 5, it's like this mansion. Like
it's all of a sudden the Myers house is like this gothic mansion. Yeah, it makes no sense.
But I love it because I think the guy that directed it, I don't know if he was French or something, but it was like someone's European sensibility on an American horror film, which is kind of why I like it. Because you know what I mean? Like it's his version of what this would be. Like there's a scene with cops, like they're talking to these policemen and it's playing these like these stupid like dun sounds when they're walking, like they're stupid, like they're like Barney Pfeiffer. But I was like, this is probably his sensibility on maybe what small town life in America is. So in a way, I like 5 sometimes more than 4. 4, I didn't like. They killed Jamie Lee Curtis off. So at the time, I didn't like that at all. Yeah. But no, for a sequel, I don't know. I guess I'll just say, you know, it's funny. I don't know. I'll just go with Halloween 4 then. Sure. I just can't think of what. I guess maybe some of. Yeah. I can't
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I've forgiven you for the Martin thing already. So
exactly.
Speak freely. Speak freely.
Now I'm actually just thinking of a horse, and I'm like trying to look at my movies. I'm like, you know what? Even though I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, people love it so much and they hate the one I like, so I'll say that one then.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Or no, Texas Massacre 3.
3's, yeah.
And I actually love that movie, but people hold that version of Leatherface so high. They want this muscle man, heavy metal Leatherface, and there's no room for any other kind. And that's my gripe with that.
It is kind of like a heavy metal version of Leatherface. It really is. He's just like this grrr, you know.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, there's more to him than that. There you go. Satisfied with that answer.
There you go. Satan's in the house. What's going on, Satan? Zombies H2 is one of the best. I'm with you. No fight for me. No fight for me. I dig it. Steven saying, have a hard alpha by the 4th Halloween. Michael Myers was blown up in number 2. He was extra crispy. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess if you somehow survived a massive explosion like that, you might be a little puffy. You might be a little, you know. So yeah, maybe that's the case.
They fixed his eyes though. I thought he got shot in the eyes.
They did, yeah. Somehow he got shot in the eyes, and he's fine. He can see again. I don't know what, you know. Come on.
But
I'm, I know you say 3, but like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I love Texas Chainsaw 2, but in terms of like overrated, like to me, TCM2 is like half of a perfect movie. Like the first half, I think is great. The way it flows, the way it's laid out. But when they get to the underground layer, like that whole thing, like it kind of falls apart for me a little bit. But
well, it's interesting because
I
like
dig
2
it.
gets bonkers, but people can't take that 4 gets bonkers. I'm
Uh-oh. The
like
Illuminati's.
its charm, right?
Oh, you're freezing on me. Hang on.
Oh, I think I froze. Sorry. Am I back?
Yeah, you froze a little bit. I thought the Illuminati was chiming in and
Right.
putting a halt to your
It was. It was.
to your
It was.
TCM4
It
talk.
was.
I knew it.
And I'm
I
gone.
knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen tonight.
It was gonna happen.
But yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, I think the TCM4 bonkers. It's so bonkers, and goes in a total conspiracy theory thing that people just, if you don't know anything about the conspiracy theories, it's very confusing and it makes no sense to you, I guess.
Yeah.
Where I guess it's easier to accept that people just eat people. You know, that's easier to accept, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Question 9: favorite horror score or soundtrack?
Ooh. The score to Night of the Demons. That's the easy one.
Okay.
Amazing score.
All right. Okay. Question. I'm gonna see.
And if I were to do a second one, I would do Goblin Dawn of the Dead, of course. You know, classic.
Okay.
A+. Chef's kiss. There you go.
All right. Question 10. You did say Night of the Living Dead was your favorite movie, so we'll go with this one for question 10. I always shift question 10 around a little bit sometimes, depending on the answers. But question 10: are you Team Ben or Team Harry? If you were in that house, whose side would you be on?
You know, well, always Ben. I mean, even though he's a hard ass, you know, you don't fuck with him. He was beating up everybody. I was like, at one point,
Men, women, and children. Men,
like,
women, and
who's
children.
next?
It didn't give a shit.
Yeah, no one's safe. You know, at one point you got, you know, does he have a Judy in a headlock? You know, like I don't know. Don't piss Ben off. Like, just go with the flow. So I still say Team Ben because he knew how to kind of take charge, and even though Harry was right, but Harry's plan could have went bad too. It just happened to be that was the right thing to do. But I think Harry was just a dick and didn't give Ben a chance, or he just wanted it, and he was a dick to his wife. You could just tell he was just an angry little man. So I'm Ben because he's definitely the hero and human, because it's not, everything's not so black and white. You could be a hero and you might have to still take out some people, but you know, at the end of the day, you're still trying to do it.
See, like that's the thing with. I love this question because you can go 100 different ways with it. But the thing to me with Ben is that he is the guy that you want to follow, you want to get behind. But if you watch the movie, like almost everything he does is wrong. Like almost everything, every decision he makes is the wrong decision. You know, let's turn on all the lights. Let's advertise our whereabouts. Let's hammer all this shit on. Let's make as much noise as possible. Let's shoot the gas pump. So when Tom takes it off the pump, it starts leaking everywhere. You know, like every decision he makes is the wrong decision. Whereas, you know, if they would have just listened to Harry and just said, hey, let's just go in the basement, which is what Ben eventually does, you know,
yeah. At the same time, though, it's kind of like Ben would have to be under Harry's control. You know, like you're going to be in the basement, but it's probably going to be Harry's rules. And, you know, and I don't think Ben wanted that because they clearly weren't getting along. They were both like, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. And there was not a lot of room for let's work together, which is so classic with the story, you know.
Which is what, you know, it's what George would always say. It's like, and it's a simple problem that they could probably figure out, you know, and if they work together. But that's the whole problem with humanity as a whole. It's like we could solve these problems if we would just work together and stop fighting and fighting over our, you know, ideals and, you know, our hard stances or whatnot. But, you know, that's it's like what John says in Day of the Dead. It's like, that's the problem, Sarah. That's the problem with the world. You know, everybody's got a different idea concerning what they want out of life. And yeah, that's the problem.
Well, and I feel like we saw it firsthand with like even with the like pandemic. Like it was everyone just had their own way of going about it, and you know, like people were arguing of what should be done and this and that. That was the closest we've experienced to a zombie movie, right? And it still showed like, yeah, we didn't learn a thing.
yeah, it's just,
you know.
I remember watching The Crazies during that whole thing, and I remember just thinking like, oh, George knew, like George saw this coming a long way down the road. Like he knew it was what would happen if anything like this even remotely happened. Yeah, he was like, yeah, we'll just end up just arguing about the solution, and in turn, as opposed to trying to actually solve the problem, we'll just argue about what solution to do. You know, it's silly.
To quote Franny, because it's so perfect, she just says, "We're blowing it ourselves," and you know, and that it was so true. Like, so that's why Dawn of the Dead is the best. It's almost foreseeing it. It's just genius, just fortune telling. It's everything. You know, like it's pretty wild. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Satan's a Night of the Demons fan.
Yeah.
Go figure. Satan loves it.
The best Halloween movie besides the other one.
Well, I have a confession to make. I've never actually seen Night of the Demons. I've never seen either of them.
What?
All four or three of them.
And you're friends with Chris McGibbon?
Somehow that's just that's the one like series I've never watched. I know those video covers because I remember seeing them when I was a kid in video stores, and they'd scare the shit out of me. And maybe there's some subliminal thing there that always like I would always just I've just never watched it. I don't know why, but those were like the scariest covers when I was a kid. So maybe it's lingering childhood trauma. I don't know, but yeah, I've actually never seen it. So you can get on my case now after I got.
Well, how about this? Martin, so. Yeah, maybe this Halloween you should watch one of them, and I'll watch Martin.
Okay, deal. I'm not against watching it. I've never gotten around to watching one of them. So deal, you got it. Mutineer, what's going on, man?
Great special effects.
Oh, Mutineer chiming in here. Night of the Demons is the perfect Halloween movie. Satan saying, Alpha, what the fuck? Watch Night of the Demons this Halloween. Okay, I will do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're getting it now. I'm just kidding.
yeah. I know I'd get some blowback from that, but I'm used to it, man. I do those streams where I put over movies that everybody hates, and I'm just like, all right, bring it to me, give it to me.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But I did want to talk about, and I do want to talk about because you are a badass cosplay. I was telling you this before we came on. Came on the air tonight. I was telling you, like, one of the things I do when I have somebody on for the first time is I will creep their Facebook and just go through their photos and just find different photos to, like, you know, and yours, I was just like going and scrolling because you have so many like awesome cosplay.
Oh, thank you.
Like, and I was just like, okay, what else has he done? Oh my God, he did this. Oh my God, he did this. I got to ask him about this. So we're definitely going to do that. But before that, I did want to ask you, because I know you were at the Comic-Con for the big Night of the Living Dead book release that Judith O'Day was at. Tell me about that. Did you get? I know you got one of the books. Yes. Okay. There you go.
I got the book, and hopefully this. I just want to show you the opening cover because I had her sign it.
Nice.
Which was nice, but I won't spoil too much. Okay, so that experience. I just went to Comic-Con to just support my partner because I'm not the biggest comic person. I'm more of a horror person. But so we got to go on Thursday, and I was lucky because it just so happened out of the blue, Judith O'Day was going to be there on Thursday to promote the new Night of the Living Dead coffee table book. So I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. So I was really diligent. I was like, where is it at? You know, what time? And you know,
Mhm.
and it was really emotional for me because it whatever happens to the Romero Mall, I don't know, but if my journey kind of cherry tops with Judith O'Day promoting
Uh-oh.
this book, it was special. That
You're freezing.
she was there doing it. How am I doing, by the way? Am I splitting up?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out here. Your connection's a little iffy. You're completely frozen now. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, he's gone. All right. Yeah, jump out, jump back in real quick. All right, we're gonna kick you off. Just come right back in. I'll let you back in. We'll all right. Sorry for the connection issues, guys. It's he's a first timer, first timer. He'll be back. But yeah, I definitely want to hear about that because that was here recently, and I that book, man, I gotta get my hands on that book. I've seen I've seen bits and pieces of it from Vulo, on his iPad. So I'm curious about what's all in that book and how that experience was at Comic Con because that's a pretty big deal for Night of the Living Dead and for somebody like Judith O'Day to be able to be at somewhere like Comic Con to promote something like that. I was really really happy for her, really happy that she got to do something like that. So um, yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that if he makes it back on, unless California has broken off and floated off into the sea somewhere, as the Tool song says. But all right, let me hit you guys' comments here real quick while it's just us. Stezio saying the original Night of the Living Dead is great. You'll never look at lipstick the same way. Yeah, or Night of the Demons. I'm sorry. I seen NOTD. My Romero brain just immediately goes Night of the Living Dead. But yeah, I've never seen Night of the Demons, and it's not that I've actively avoided it or anything, or that I haven't wanted to see Night of the Demons. It's just one of those weird anomalies where it's never lined up. So just just for Gregory, I'm gonna do it for Halloween this year because I feel like it must be done at this point. Um, real quick, got another. Hey, yes, all right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. I love playing this.
You never know.
You never know. There you are. You're back. Marty Gras with a $10 super chat for your Wi-Fi fund, man. So I'll PayPal that over to you. Are you there? Oh, we froze again. Oh, Jesus. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to send that over pretty quickly. Is it gonna pop back up? Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. We'll try to get the technical difficulties ironed out with that super chat. Appreciate it, man. Um, uh, yeah, Night of Demons is my. I'll get on it. I'll get on it. Um, Steven says it's a completely different hit, but Night of the Demons is an '80s classic, far better than Martin for the amount of booby shown. I'm not following your logic, sir. I'm not following your logic. You perv. You perv. I mean, I get it. It is one of those movies that I definitely have to see. 'Cause just from just stills and stuff that I've seen of the movie, it seems like it has a very demons, Lamberto Bava's demons vibe going on to the makeup and the look of the demons in the movie. So yeah, I think I'll dig it. Like I said, it's just one of those movies. Then it just hasn't happened yet. It just hasn't happened yet. But I'm inspired to do it now. Uh, I haven't said it once tonight. I haven't mentioned it. I haven't even thought about that movie tonight, unless there's something going on. We were talking last night on the Revival House show. We were having a conversation about supernatural, ghost experiences and supernatural activity and stuff like that. Maybe that's catching up to me. I don't know. But hopefully we can get things ironed out here. We'll bring him back if he can get it figured out. Yeah. Learn to swim. Yes, the lips and the boobs. Okay, all right. you guys are piquing my interest here. Okay. Mayor says if you don't watch Night of the Demons, you'll have sour balls. Well, we don't want that. So I'll heed that warning, I guess. Steven says a man who's a part-time furry calling me a perv. The nerve. Part-time furry. Come on, man. I got my what is it, a foxtail, or what do they wear? They just wear tails around. Are those furries, or is that something completely different? I don't know. I just know the furry world. Satan says, Alpha, I think your daughter would dig Night of the Demons. I don't know. Well, it's funny. I was watching, like I was telling Gregory, I was watching Texas Chainsaw Next Generation earlier, and she came upstairs and caught a few minutes of that, and she was just very confused about what was going on. She was like, what are you watching? Like, oh, it's just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And she's like, is this for big kids? And I was like, yeah, it's probably more for adults, probably. But she was just like, oh, and she didn't really catch her interest. She's probably one of the majority of just like, I don't get it. It ain't for me. But obviously she's never, seen a Texas Chainsaw Massacre before. So, not yet. Not to you 12, son. Do I have sour balls? I don't know. You would have to ask, some other people, about that. I don't think so. I bathe regularly. I wash my balls daily. I'm fairly hygienic. I'm a fairly hygienic guy, I think. So, so yeah, I don't think so, but who's to say? I've never achieved that level of flexibility in my life, so I can't say. Had a chance to check out Scout yet? I haven't actually. It's sitting right over there. I haven't had a chance to check that out yet, but I have it on standby. But I will definitely check that out soon and report back. I picture you more like a chipmunk. Well, thanks, I guess. I don't know. Chipmunks are kind of cute, I guess. I'll take it. It could be worse. You can picture me as like a fucking hyena, or I don't know, what's a really dirty animal? A rat, maybe? I don't know. Good response to the sour balls comment. Thank you. And it's true. Just being honest here. But all right. I don't know. Let me check my phone, see if Gregory's gonna be back or not. It may just be us. Can't seem to hear me. You're not. Hold on, I gotta respond here real quick. It's a goddamn pharaohs, man. It's pharaohs. I knew fucking pharaohs was gonna haunt me forever. Will I do a booth at Living Dead Weekend? I thought about that. Not so much a booth, more so maybe doing like a vendor table, because I got a bunch of stuff that I'm planning on selling here fairly soon. Just a bunch of extra stuff that I don't really need at this point in my life. I'm thinking about really downsizing a lot of my Blu-ray collection, because I go through periods where I just start buying up everything like I even remotely like, or even remotely have an interest in, and I never go. I just never go back to it. I don't really have a use for it. So I thought maybe about doing a booth, maybe as like a vendor, but I don't know. Possibly. We'll see. Let me see here. Are you there? Well, I bring him on and he disappears. Oh, there you go. Can I hear you? Nope, no sound. No sound. You look clear though. You look good. Picture's good. We just need some audio. I don't think you're muted. That's what she said. Jeff, we're now into Alfa Romero After Dark. Yeah, I think so. I think so. That's what it is, Mayor. It's the fucking Illuminati. It's the Illuminati. Yeah, no sound. No sound. Let me see here. Mic settings. Nope, and he's gone again. He's gonna hop back in. John, what's going on, brother? Vulo and House figured I'd stop and say hi while I'm on the train home from Rush with these fucking obnoxious tween girls. Good God. That sounds, I don't know what sounds worse to me. Being around, being stuck in a train surrounded by obnoxious tween girls or being at a Rush concert. I don't know which sounds more painful to me, but yeah, not a big Rush fan. I just never was my thing. But we were just about to start talking about, Gregory was at the Comic-Con, this past week, a week ago, whenever it was, and picked up the new book and actually, got it signed and everything. And he was just right in the middle of telling the story, and all hell broke loose, and the technical difficulties took over, and the Illuminati, jumped in and cut him off before we could get into the TCM Next Generation talk. So I don't know. But I want to hear about it. It's we'll see. Good to see you, man. Good luck with those tween girls. Satan, I can't sell my movies. I always rebuy. I do too. I've done that so many times in the past. Where like I'll just get on a kick of like I don't need this anymore. I need a little extra cash. And I sell off a big chunk of my, Blu-ray or DVD collection. Really, like it was really in the past, like I said, in my 20s when I was just dead broke and needed money. Like I would just start selling off, stuff now that like $100 DVDs that are just out of print and rare, hard to find shit that I just get, sold for $5 at a pawn shop or whatever, just to have money to pay the electric bill. And now I look back and I'm just like, God damn, like I wish I still had those. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I wouldn't sell anything that I was, hardcore in love with, like any of my favorites or anything. But just a lot of the Blu-rays of like comedies and shit like that. Then I'm just like, most of the time you can find that shit streaming somewhere, and I think do you really need all this? And it'd be nice to have a little extra shelf space actually too. So. Did I order the outfit yet, Alpha? Oh, the Duvall film. I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't really been buying a lot of physical media here lately at all. A lot of my money I've been spending on eBay on posters and which I don't know if I showed on the live stream yet. I don't think I had a chance to last week when we were talking to Norman, which that was an epic stream if you guys missed that. But I did pick up the this here recently, which is like it's in this little casing here, but we were talking about the winners earlier with the OJ Simpson documentaries and stuff, and it's nice. It's like a little brochure. This came from apparently it came from the estate of Bruno Sammartino, wrestler, like because he's featured in one of the documentaries. So apparently it came from his estate. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I don't know if I want to frame it or what, but we haven't really been buying a lot of physical media yet, here recently, at least. Not since the Day of the Dead box set, catastrophe, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't know, Michelle. I think something's something's amiss here. And we were talking about Canada earlier too. I don't know. It's all making sense now. Yeah, yeah, he just pops in, pops out, pops in, pops out. Um, yeah, there we go. We got the new king of technical. Although I will say, man, although Larry I think is getting his shit taken care of, but I was recording. I got a new video that I'm working on, a pretty extensive look into the release of Day of the Dead, the box office of Day of the Dead that I did with Larry, a video that I recorded last weekend with Larry that I'm still working on editing and putting together. That I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do. Just really a real deep dive. Which anything with Larry is like a real hardcore deep dive. I loved it. Hopefully that'll be out later this week for you guys to check out. But yeah, it was just constant technical difficulties. So I don't know, man. I think maybe I'm cursed. I don't know. I may have to use that $10 Wi-Fi fucking fund. Um, yeah. What's up, Justin? Technical difficulties. Yeah, I don't know, man. The audio. He looked great. Like the picture quality was great. Like he's been kind of, in and out all stream long, and then yeah, it just shit the bed. I don't know what's going on. He wasn't muted or anything on my end. I usually I can see here if the microphone's muted or anything like that, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he can make it back. Yeah, tweens. Look. I don't want to hear it. I got two girls. One's getting ready to start kindergarten. She already acts like she's 13 years old already, telling me what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing with my life. she's like, yeah. What does she say? If you try to tell her to do something, she's just like, I don't have to do that. I'm like, yeah, you do. And she's like, who the fuck are you? Who are you, you goof? So yeah, I dread the coming years, the coming tween years of being a girl dad. She's my karma. They're my karma. Because I was a shithead when I was a teenager. So I'm sure it's coming back full bore for me. John got the free ticket from Jim. Yeah, I guess if it's free, I'll go. I'll check out Rush. But Rush is just one of those bands that I've never gotten. I don't know. I've listened to quite a bit of their stuff, and to me, it's just, I don't know, not my thing. Not my thing. Although Satan disagrees. Rush is the best band in the galaxy. So there you go. There you go. It's not my thing. Justin, you bought cigarettes and PBR. Hey, I haven't bought cigarettes. Well, outside of Living Dead weekend back in June, I did buy a pack of cigarettes there. I smoked 2 or 3 of them before I just left them outside for somebody else to have. I was just like, eh. But if I didn't buy those cigarettes, I wouldn't have been able to have a cigarette handy for Scott Reiniger outside the hotel when he was asking for a smoke. And I was like, actually, I just bought a pack. So it worked out. But I actually haven't, outside of that, I haven't purchased cigarettes or smoked about a year now, actually. Thinking about it, going back last August. So go me, I guess. Well, I may have had a couple in between, but nobody needs to know that. Not like I used to. We'll say that. And I don't have to buy PBR, sir. I got the IC on standby. I still have a few left. It should last me a few more weeks, but Mayor, I was always selling my records and now I'm rebuying them. I'm in the process of doing that now, man. I'm in the process of doing that right now on my Discogs. I still have quite a few over here that I just won't sell, but a lot of them I am kind of just scaling down a little bit right now in terms of my vinyl record collection. But yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I can't think of many. There have been a few that I've gone back and rebought, but for the most part, like I really enjoy buying new records from newer bands or like trying something for the first time. Like if there's a band that has a song that I really like, I want to buy the album and I want to listen to it and I want to dig into it. Like some examples of that recently are bands like Dive. That was one album that I just bought on a whim because it was $13, and I was like, "Yeah, this looks interesting," and I bought it and just fell in love with it. Um, Shit like that. Ritual Howls. I got one of their albums that I just played on repeat. Like I love like experimenting and trying new things. Going to a record store, finding something that looks interesting that I haven't heard before. A lot of the stuff that I've listened to a bunch of times, or I try. I don't really have the same kind of collector's mentality with albums as I do with movies for some reason. Like I don't feel like I need every album released by this artist. Even my favorites. Like outside of, I think I have pretty much every Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers album, and I have most every Silverchair album. There's like one that I'm missing. Yeah, I don't have that. See, with music, I'm kind of a new era style kind of guy. Like I'm just like Spotify's fine for me. Like if I want to listen to music, I'll just throw it on or YouTube or something like that. But there is something gratifying and enjoyable about just buying an album and putting it on and just kind of submerging yourself in it and just taking it in as it was meant to be taken in. Surf Skate Adventures, shout out from New Zealand. What's going on, man? Shout out from America. What's going on? We were talking about New Zealand earlier. I forget what the context was, but New Zealand came up. Well, I know he mentioned Dead Alive, which New Zealand. What were we talking about? New Zealand's come up quite a bit tonight. Interesting. What's going on? Good to see you. Michelle says, I'm not a Rush fan. Please don't revoke my citizenship, Canada. Yeah, if you're from Canada and you don't like Rush, that's like being from America and not liking, I don't know, what is every Taylor Swift, I guess, these days? I don't know. Everything's so segmented now. Everybody's got their own tastes and likes, and yeah. Uncle Mark, what's going on, man? Just stopping in to say hi. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Like we were mentioning, I was telling the story about you earlier, about the introduction to Romero with Gregory, which I don't know. Let me check my messages. See if he's okay. Let me shoot him a message real quick. Let's see if he responds. Yeah, she is. You ain't gotta worry about that. She says a boot and everything.
I can hear you.
There you are. We can hear you.
I am so sorry. I don't know what happened.
I thought I was worried that you had one of those
ruin the
California earthquakes or something. I was like, uh-oh. You're a little choppy.
Sorry, guys. My apologies.
You're a little choppy on my end.
Let's see.
Can you hear me? You're gone again. Gone again. Oh, you're back. No, now we can't hear you. Oh, and he's stuck. Should I just leave? Should I just leave his this image up for for him? Yeah, I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know if he's gonna make it. We may have to have him back another time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep. I'll keep it in the chat here. We'll see if we can get it figured out. Once again, apologies, guys. You guys know. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you guys know that fucking the Off Romero channel and technical difficulties go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly around here. So It just is what it is, man. It's the internet. That's just it is what it is. I would love to have an actual studio where I could just, fly people in, but I ain't got that kind of scratch. Although with my kids starting kindergarten and not having to pay for daycare anymore, I could afford just another apartment with the money I was spending on daycare. Just turn it into a studio. But all right, well. Villa said I'm waiting for my scan of the winners. Yeah, I still need to get you with that. And I still need to get you at least an MP3 or something of the audio commentary from the booby hatch. I told you I'd hook you up with. I got to get caught up on that. I've been just swamped lately with just working on shit for the channel, and having a which Everly's pretty easy to deal with these days. Like she's she can kind of get her own shit now. But the youngest one, Claire, she's at that age. She's starting to become mobile, guys. She's starting to maneuver around and get curious and get into shit, and she's starting to be a little chatty. So she's getting to be a little bit more of a handful too. But she's a good baby overall, though, I gotta say. But yeah, I'll definitely get those to you, man. I'll get on that. Excuse me. Jeff said in the midst of technical difficulties, we should have a group sing along because I'm a man. All right, I got to stop that before YouTube strikes me. Because for some reason on that song, that YouTube is pretty strict about it. But hey, we got a verse. They'll still probably get me for it. But it does give me a T-shirt idea. So I'm going to write that down real quick. It's off the rails tonight, guys. It's off the rails. Blame Canada. That's my motto. That's my motto. You never know what they're up to. Mutineer Sin, Russia's fine. They had a few good albums. Yeah. I'm just not a Geddy Lee, that voice, man. I can't do it. That makes sense. Satan would love to live in Canada. That makes total sense. Cigs and beer, so good. Yeah. I don't drink a lot, but I do drink more now than I used to. Not that I drink a lot, but now that I'm not smoking, like I have no fun in my life anymore. I'm being too responsible, and the only outlet that I have is a beer every now and then. Can't party like I used to. Conqueror says, I don't think I can finish a whole cigarette these days, and if drinking, it might make me sick. I was kind of the same way when I bought those at Living Dead weekend, man. Like I said, I had like 3 or 4 where we were hanging out outside talking to folks, and after that, I was just like, I'm good. Like I'm good. I don't really ever crave it. I mean, I will tell you guys, like Zen is work miracles. Like I know it's still nicotine, and it's not, it's not like you're quitting, but you're not smoking anymore. You're not inhaling the cigarette smoke. I feel better. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I don't cough randomly or like clear my throat all the time. Like if you go back and you watch some of my older streams, like from a year and a half ago or something like that, just nonstop. Like I'd have to just like, I'm just constantly clearing my throat. And you don't realize it until like you quit smoking and you don't do that anymore. You're like, it makes sense. I could see why I was doing that. But I was also, yeah. So it's not the greatest thing in the world, but there are studies out there that show that, nicotine does have medical benefits. And so the nicotine's not so bad. It's just everything else that kind of fucks with you. Justin says, no, when you were younger and needed the money. Yeah, just talking about just selling shit. Yeah. Steven says it's time to buy several firearms. Where did this conversation come from? Remember everything you wanted to do to Mama Alpha when you first met her? The same thing will happen all over with your dog. Oh yeah, okay, I don't want to hear that. Mama Alpha. Sorry to tell you. I don't want to. I don't. Dude, I have moments here just of her starting kindergarten where I'm just like, you can't grow up. Stop. You got to slow down. Like, I can't handle this. Like, I took her to get her hair cut the other day after I picked her up from daycare, and just sitting her, like, she's just sitting there, just still getting her hair cut. She looked like a grown ass woman. Like, I could see her, and I remember like getting a little emotional, just like, no, you can't. Like, you're my baby. Anyway, and I don't want to. We're not going down that road. Hopefully, if we're lucky, she'll just be a lesbian. I ain't gotta worry about it. I'm just like, all right, yeah. Boys, who needs those fuckers? Fuck those things. Like, just les out a little bit. You'll be fine. That's the hope, But I don't know. Yeah. I got you. The other DVDs. Yeah, I wish I had some of those back, man. Some of those were pretty. Go for a pretty penny now. Emil, is it Emil in the Sniffers from Australia, great punk band? Yeah, I'm familiar with them. They tour, they play a lot with another band that I'm a big fan of, that I just saw live. They opened for Queens of the Stone Age. I saw them live 2 years ago, I think, in St. Louis. Viagra Boys. The lead singer, I can't think of her name on top of my head, but she did a song with the Viagra Boys. It was a cover of the John Prine song. You still, fuck, how does it go? She still thinks my jokes are funny. Yeah. I'm familiar with them. I dig them. All right.
Let's one last time. How
All
is
right.
it?
Right. So right now you're fine.
All right. I'm not even going to move. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
all
good.
right. I'm like this.
I'm just over here singing and making an ass of myself. It's all good.
Oh no, no. I take the cake. Comic-Con.
All right, hit me.
All right. I don't know where I left off, but Judith O'Day. So it was interesting because we were just going to go for a day because I'm not a big comic book person, but I'm a horror person. So it just so happens that day Judith O'Day was going to be there promoting the book. So it was like, this is awesome. So, like, gotta go. And I remember I had to like make sure the panels, everything lined up. And so we go, and I've met her a couple times, but she's just the epitome of class. And I get starstruck by her every time. She's like Joan Crawford, just movie star, right? And so she had her panel, and it was really enthusiastic crowd, and there was something really apropos about it because my love of the movie Night of the Living Dead kind of began with her, because I feel she's the face of the movie besides Kyra, because it kind of starts with her and kind of ends with her. And I don't know what the fate is necessarily of them all, but if that was kind of the cherry on top of Romero-ness, there was just something so perfect about I'm seeing her now after the mall, and it was just amazing. I actually got emotional. Like, I got a little teary-eyed during the panel because I was like, there she is, and she's talking about it, and they had Ruth Striner on like a video for everybody, and I just got emotional. It was so cool just to see her talk about the movie, and the book. The book is stunning. Like, I don't want to give too much away, but there's beautiful photos in it. There's some colored photos in it, which is really cool, just to see what the ghouls maybe were wearing. And because I also have like a fascination a little bit with the colorized versions of Night of the Living Dead, because it's interesting to see what they made the ghouls look like, like what their skin tone was, things like that. But it was interesting to see what it looked like in the book, so it's a great book. and I'm excited for everyone to get to check it out. And there she is.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on that because I've seen a little bit of it from Vulo, who contributed quite a bit to the book. John Vulo, he kind of showed me a little bit of it on his iPad at Living Dead Weekend last year, I think. And yeah, it just looks phenomenal. So I can't wait to check it out.
Here's the back. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. But was that the first time you'd met Judith?
It's been about 10 years. She was kind of at the earlier conventions I was going to. And she was just a doll, lack of a better word. It's funny. She has a very diverse, full career, but this is definitely one of her landmarks. And it's interesting. It's like, same with Kyra. It's like you could do stuff totally different, but this is so iconic. This will always kind of come back to you. You know, and she's just so gracious with her time and just full of energy, and she's all about the movie and her proper voice, you know, all of it.
I've always, because she's from the Pittsburgh area, I think, but she sounds like she's from the UK or something. She has a very proper way of speaking, and it's just like I love her. I've met her twice, and both times, like the first time I met her was at that 2008 show. And it was the first time that I was meeting her. I was, starstruck. You couldn't ask for a nicer person, like just so sweet, so like you said, gracious and grateful of just like, oh, it's amazing that so many people still remember this movie and all this stuff. But like I got a picture with her, but this was back, like I said, 2008. This is back when we still had the Motorola fucking camera phones. You never knew what the hell you were gonna get. So I got a picture with her, but after I left and I looked at it, I was like, oh, this looks awful. Like it was like blurry. You couldn't make out what the hell was going on. So I went back the next day, and I walked up to her table and I was just like, hey, Mrs. O'Day. And I was just like, oh, she's going to turn me down. She's going to whine. We took a picture. Like, she just looked at me like before I could say anything. She's like, oh, Michael, hey, how you doing? She remembered my name. And I was like, oh my God, Barbara remembered my name. But like, she was just like, oh, Michael, how you doing? And I was just like, well, can we take another picture? And she was like, oh, absolutely. Get over here. And just like, didn't bat an eye. And then I met her again a couple of years ago at Living Dead Weekend in Evans City. And then she was just as sweet as could be. Just wanted, like, I had her action figure, I had her sign, and she was just like, oh, I just wanted to talk about, like, I could never imagine that I would have an action figure, like that was just, it blows my mind. Like, just the
that means you made it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's like, just think about, like, all those years ago when you're making this movie, like, think about 50 years from now, you're gonna have your own action figure. And she's just like, yeah, it's mind-blowing to her. Like, it's so cool.
And there's only a handful of people I've been truly starstruck by where you don't know what to do. And she's one of them, because it all starts with Barbara. It really does. Literally, story-wise and everything. She's the first person on camera, first line. And she's breathtakingly beautiful. I love her whole outfit. I love that she loses her shoes along the way. With everything about her, I love just all of it. Like, she's just phenomenal. And I think everything she did in the film was so normal. Like, everyone's going to process trauma in their own way. Yeah. And she does snap out of it at the very end. It's too late for everybody at that point, but she does try to save Helen. So I don't think she's useless. She got the coinage as like the scared chick, and sure, but I do think she does rise to the occasion. I don't think she's completely useless, but hey, she gets decked in the face.
Her brother was just killed in front of her. Like, all of a sudden, dead people are coming back to life. Like, I would. We'd all like to be Ben, but I think most of us would probably react more like Barbara. We would just be sitting there just like, what is going on?
How do you process that? Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, especially if you just watched your brother get murdered, and it's just like, yeah. So
And you know what's
I've
funny?
always liked the Barbara character in the original. Like everybody's like,
Oh,
oh, she just turns it's, and even George was just always like, yeah, I always try, I spent the rest of my career apologizing, trying to make stronger female characters and apologizing for Barbara. And I was just like, no, I mean that fit. I mean, she wasn't the only female character in that movie. I mean, Helen's a pretty strong female character in that movie. Like she's, but
Helen's hot. She's a MILF.
oh yeah.
She really is. Oh, because this photo in the book shows her MILFism. This is just when you open it. Look at that. Come on.
I've always
Toddy.
thought Marilyn Eastman was a looker back in the day.
Total looker. She's trying to hide it with her hair up, and I'm like, you ain't fooling no one. And Barbara, her chase scene, that's not a helpless woman. She's doing everything she can to get away from the situation. And that chase scene is long, and so
it covers some ground. Yeah,
it does. And she's running in like pantyhose. And so, she's really going for it. So that's why I'm like, no, she's not a helpless woman. That first 20 minutes of the movie, she is incredibly resilient. I think finally when she realizes she's somewhat safe, I think that's when, in a weird way, maybe that's when her shutdown was a little more like valid, maybe to her, like I'm all right, I'm indoors now. Someone's kind of taking care of this right now. I'm just going to go inward for a little while. I'll see you in a little while. But anyway, it was emotional to see Judith O'Dea run this panel, and I got to film a little bit of it. I wanted to take some of it in and really enjoy it, but I tried to film some tidbits. But the crowd was so into it and just applauding and almost just standing ovation. And it was I really, at one point I was just like, oh my God, am I going to fucking cry? It was an honor to be there, honor to see Judy, pretty cool.
Yeah. I was really happy to hear that she was involved in something like, because I mean, that's a big deal for Night of the Living Dead, the book at Comic-Con. Like, you didn't have all that, and to have Judy there to be able to be a part of that. Like, I was really, really happy to hear that she was going to be there. I'm glad to hear that it sounds like it was a pretty successful launch of the book. So
I was kind of shocked because I kept thinking Comic-Con is Comic-Con, so it's going to be mostly for that, because I've never been before. But to see the whole auditorium for her was full, and that many, and the line to meet her was full. So I was like, okay, all right, right on. It was like horror convention-esque, Yeah, and I love Barbara and the remake a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people prefer that Barbara because she's more, strong, independent, like, and that's the thing about the remake is like Ben's not right, Harry's not right. Like she kind of figures it out, where she's just like, we could just, leave, we could just go. I'm not a part of this conversation. Like I'm going to do my own thing. So it is interesting that George kind of adds a third option to the Team Ben, Team Harry conversation. Now there's Team Barbara, and she's just like, all right, fuck all y'all, I'm out of here.
And she has the tropes that original Barbara had, because she starts off she's like a nerdy school teacher,
mousy.
That's
the word that I use.
The glasses and the cardigan, and she's very covered up. And later the combat boots come on, and she goes kind of not catatonic, but she's screaming a lot and crying, and she goes Judith O'Dea, and then she goes Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, pretty much,
which is fine, pretty cool. Yeah, I do like her a lot too. So they've done Barbara justice in those films. Big time.
Yeah. Have you seen the new Night of the Living Dead yet? The latest remake?
And you know what? Until I see it, I know nothing, right? But it's bizarre. With Night of the Living Dead, I don't mind that it gets remade here and there, because perhaps maybe I'm a little bit used to it because it's public domain and you can do what you want with it, I guess. But I'm so confident with my relationship with the original. I don't really mind seeing other people's like versions of it.
Mm.
So I mean, because if it sucks, right? But what can I do about it? But it's interesting to see what they did and what I wouldn't do, what I would do. What I will say about this new one, because I've only seen the trailer, they made Barbara look like Judith O'Dea, and I was like, I'm cool with that in my book, like
Yeah,
they gave
yeah,
her,
that stood out to me. Yeah,
the whole look, and Vivica A. Fox is Ben, and I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. And I did see the panel for that. I was at the Night of the Living Dead new panel, and Vivica Fox was head spearing it, spearlining it, and she was really passionate about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm the new Ben," and she was.
okay.
And
Where was that at? Where did they have a panel for it at? Because I didn't even know it was happening until the trailer dropped, and I was like, "What? Where the fuck did this come from?"
Monster Palooza out here. This was end of May.
Oh, okay.
And so I got to see the panel. They did play clips. There's a lot of people in it. I think Dee Wallace is in it, and there's a lot of people in it. They
Carradine. I think it's like Robert Carradine's like last role.
His last movie.
I
Yeah,
so.
and they focus more on when Ben's at the diner, which has never been done before. I thought that was cool. But the clips, I felt like the clips could have been shorter. I felt like they were like long, and I was like,
just give you half the movie.
Yeah, give us half the movie. But I'm excited to watch it, just to watch it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying though. Like, Night of the Living Dead's been redone so many times. Have you ever watched the 30th anniversary version of Night of the Living Dead with the extra footage added that John Russo shot?
All right. Hopefully this doesn't go to Martin territory. I didn't like the 30th anniversary. I rented that once again because it was a new cover. Yeah. And I was like, okay, and it's this anniversary edition, and I thought maybe there was like deleted scenes in it. But I pop it on. I felt you could tell it was shot yesterday and blending it into a 60s movie. Well,
I think the thing that gave it away was Bill Heinzman is 30 years older at the beginning of the movie and it's like, what? Okay.
Exactly. There was that too. They gave him the subplot that he was like, was he like a child molester or I don't know. I was like,
child murderer or something. Yeah.
Why do we gotta go there? Why are we getting all Freddy Krueger on him? And
yeah, it's
I don't know. I felt like it wasn't necessary to add stuff like that to it. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it was. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that one. It was interesting. Maybe I should look at it again. I don't know. I've only saw it once.
No, you shouldn't. No.
Okay, maybe not.
But when you said you don't want to go the Martin route with it, I was like, no, you can shit on this movie all you want. Like, it's horrible idea. It's like taking it's really, really bad. And I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to recoup. They were trying to do the Star Wars thing. They were like, oh, we're going to add some new footage to it and re-release it 30 years after the fact and maybe make a little money off this thing finally. And no, that's just a horrible, horrible, horrible idea.
And I think some people were involved with it that do the Monroeville Mall convention. There's a couple people that were in Dawn of the Dead that were in it.
Sure.
So I felt, I was like, I want to be on board because it was this communal effort. And I just think it fell flat.
Yeah, I guess that's putting it lightly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely fell flat.
Definitely fell flat. Do you have a favorite version of besides Tom Savini's remake? I mean, anything good from any of them? Like anything stand out or you don't like?
Have you ever seen Children of the Living Dead?
I haven't seen that one.
The first 10 minutes of that movie is pretty entertaining and pretty enjoyable because it's Tom Savini. It's like a badass zombie hunter, like because it takes place at the end, like where they're killing all the zombies. And the rest of the movie is complete garbage. But that first 10 minutes, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty entertaining outside of some like bad ADR work and some of that, but. Outside of that, like it's a pretty entertaining opening 10 minutes, but the rest of the movie's pretty bad. But I like a lot of John Russo's stuff in a not not in like a, oh, this is great cinema type of way, but more like this is really fun to watch with your friends and fucking have a good time. Like it's a lot of his movies are really just crappy in a very entertaining way.
I want to see Flesh Eater with
Oh yeah, that's another fun one.
I never
With
saw
Bill
that one
Hines,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Bill, that's
another fun bad movie. It's not great, but it's fun because it's Bill Heinzman as fucking cemetery zombie. It's like if it was a slasher basically with Bill Heinzman as a cemetery zombie.
I wonder if you could confirm this for me. I heard that George was going to do his remake and Bill was going to do that, and I think I heard George was like, "Don't do it," and he did it anyway. And I think maybe that cost Bill not being in the remake. I don't know. Maybe I heard that.
That's basically what happened. Yeah, because Heinzman was gonna do Flesh Eater. He sent the idea to Russo and Romero, and they both sent him a letter saying, "Do not do this. Cease and desist. Like you're not allowed to do this." Heinzman did it anyway, and that kind of ended their working relationship until the 30th anniversary edition, I guess, because he brought him back for that. But which Romero had nothing to do with the 30th anniversary edition. That was mostly Russo and Striner.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Russo, huh?
Yeah. That's an old Russo, as we say.
I haven't read the book yet, obviously the Comic-Con one, but apparently there's a lot of things being put to rest in it. They were talking about that on the panel, like, you know, like what we believe might be true isn't, and this and that, and which I think is a part of its lore now. So who knows if it's true or not, you know, but
yeah,
there will be some interesting things in it for sure.
Yeah, Vulo, he's been working really closely with the Image 10 folks, Jim Serenella, Russ Striner, and he's uncovered a lot of stuff. Like he's uncovered a lot of the extras, a lot of the zombies, their backstories, and in the process of doing that, they've found a lot of new information, a lot of new stuff. So yeah, that's another big reason why I'm excited about the book, because there's a lot of new information in there that I'm dying to. I mean, I have a stack of like books here, of Romero books that I just constantly reference for the show. So it's like I need more, you know, I need more information to impart on people, you know.
Do you have this one?
I do. I have that one, and I have the first edition hardcover as well.
Oh, that's cool. I guess I wrote my name when I was looking.
You got it when you were a little kid. You got it.
I did.
That's awesome.
And I didn't know it was in there. I was looking through. I was like, oh, of course. Really funny.
Mark your territory. I dig it. I dig it.
I guess so. Yeah. And they put me in this one. This is a cool little book.
That's right. I remember you told me. I don't have that one, but you're in that book, aren't you?
That's a cool book. Yeah, a lot of cool, like a lot of photos of stuff on the roof and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, cool book. Glad to be in that a little bit, and fan art, and the guy that does the Flyboy cosplay is amazing. Like, just he has it down. You know, like,
yeah. That's like his second life. He's David Emge in his second life. He just fits it perfectly. Like he's known, like, because when David Emge passed away, and me and Will went to the funeral, we met his family and everything, and they're just the nicest people in the world. They were so happy. Oh my God, David's fans are here! Like, that's so cool. And they were talking. They were like, "Isn't there a guy like over in England or something that does David?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, his name's Scott. Like, he's the cool dude. Like, he's the spitting image of David." And they were just like, "Oh, that's so cool. Like, I'd love to see that someday." Because like I said, they'd never seen it. They just heard about it. There's like, "Oh, I'd love to see that someday." So at Living Dead weekend later that year, we went up to Scott and had him like sign like an 8x10 of him as Flyboy, and I mailed it to David's sister, and was just like, I got this for you. Here's David's biggest fan, you know, and she wrote me back and was like, "Oh, it's amazing. Thank you. I'm gonna put this on the fridge." You know, like, just she loved it. You know,
Fridge worthy's good.
Yeah, yeah. Or unless you, and if you have kids or something like that, that's hard real estate to come by. You have to
It
find some
is. It
room on the
is.
fridge. So if it's going up there, it means something.
There was a
Um,
girl there dressed as Fly Girl, and she looked amazing. I had to
yeah.
do a double take. I was like, "Is that Galen?" Yeah, I don't know. She's fantastic.
And they had
Fantastic.
her. She was like hanging out with Scott a lot. So it was like seeing Flyboy and Fran hanging out a lot at the mall. It was kind of interesting. But yeah, her actual name is Fran. Like
No.
I swear, because I saw her, I went up to her. I was like, "That's amazing." You look just like her. What's your name? And she's like, Fran. And I laughed and I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, okay. But what's your real name?" She's like, Fran. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah." She looks just spitting image too. Like, yeah,
Nailed it. Yeah, I was kind of blown away. I was like, really? All right. All right.
yeah,
That's where we are.
yeah. Which, speaking of, I mean, you're up there, man. Like I said, going through your photos and like all the different characters and stuff you've done over the years,
Did you
amazing,
see my
amazing
Kyra?
shit.
I did Kyra.
I did. Hold
She
on,
was
I have a PowerPoint presentation so everybody can
Oh,
see your work, and I'm gonna show you some photos, and I want you to talk about them. I want you to expand about it.
sure.
So here's Playing the Dead, ladies and gentlemen, with
Oh,
Gregory
yeah.
Van Abelar. So here is, of course, Kyra Schoen, Karen Cooper from Night of the Living Dead, and here is
Oh,
you as Kyra. What was so okay? So I'm not from. I don't cosplay. It's not. It's a. I know nothing. I don't come from that world. What inspired you to kind of get into that? What was your first experience of just like, okay, I'm going to try this, and then snowball to whatever it is now?
It goes back to Night of the Demons again.
Mhm.
Angela, that's the lead girl in all three movies. I was always in love with her, and so I was like, I want to do her. Like, and the first time I did it was on Halloween because I knew that was safe zone, like because you're
Oh
like
yeah,
14, and so you could try this out without,
exactly. Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, getting assaulted. Um,
Right.
and it was a really interesting and therapeutic experience because some of my friends were really into it, some were not, and it really kind of, but I knew then it was right, and this is what I'm into, right? And then a
Hmm.
little bit later down the line, and then yeah, then I went to a performing arts high school, and at that point it was like the art kids and like the goth. So I did a lot of like the goth look then, and that was kind of my outlet to cosplay, and
Hmm.
so I kind of looked like Angela all the time. But then once I really got to going to HorCons, I was doing Angela all the time anyway. Um, at the Hollywood parade and stuff, I'd go as her and things like that. But once I started going to conventions, and then I became friends with Amelia. I was doing cosplay for her at conventions, but then there were other characters that I was really drawn to from my childhood and to now that are kind of heroes of mine and icons, if you will. And most of them are women because they're like my heroes. I was raised by women, and on the screen, I just adore them. I relate to them. Everything. They're always kind of the underdog that have to either come up or all those stories, right? But
Hmm.
so it's kind of my love letter to them, the characters they played, how it affected me, and I could relate to any of them, even a zombie, like, or
Yeah.
someone that turns into a demon. Like I feel like we're all so complex, and it's not black and white. We're so gray in real life, and I think a lot of that comes with these characters and what people have to do in these movies or what happens to them really tapped into me because I was definitely grew up kind of a loner, and my friends were these movies. Like I would just pop these movies on, and they were still are my comfort food.
Oh yeah.
So I'd be hanging out
Yeah,
with
we talk about
Flyboy.
that all the time. Like it's like it's like you said, it's comfort. It's our comfort food. It's like our safe space. You know, it's like these were who I were hanging. This is who I was hanging out with. You know, most of high school. Like I was hanging out with the characters in Dawn of the Dead. I was at that mall. You know, it's just like, and I told as I was at that Indianapolis Days of the Dead show. Was it last weekend? Weekend before? And they had the panel, and I told them, they were like, because Scott asked, and Scott was like, what is it about this movie that keeps living, like keeps bringing people back? And my response was, you guys, your characters, like you were characters that I loved to hang out with. I loved hanging out at that mall with you guys, whether it's, you know, you're sliding down the escalator, or, you know, you're ice skating or playing tennis on the roof, or your characters, the characters that you guys built were like, you know, close to me. Like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, they seem to kind of get it. They were like, okay, that makes sense, because, you know, it's a character driven movie more so than the gore or anything else. It's like you just like those characters.
It is. And I remember even specifically, I remember even being at school, and I couldn't wait to go home to pop in Dawn of the Dead, and just thinking of, it was so random. It was the part when they're in the plane and they're just talking to each other before they get to the mall. That scene just kind of went through my head, and I was like, I can't wait to get home, because I just wanted to watch it again. And there was a store in the mall called Suncoast Video, and I lived there.
Oh yeah, we remember Suncoast.
And that's where I got Dawn of the Dead for $10. And
that's a pretty good price for Suncoast back in the day.
Amazing. They had a $10 wall, and it was like primo horror movies. It, like, they didn't care back then. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, take them. And that Dawn of the Dead had the classic cover of Roger getting up, and there was a trailer on there for Witchboard 2. So I had it all memorized, you know, and then the movie comes on. But it just it still gives me such a escapism, and just comfort, like you said. It just makes me happy. I get joy watching these, and I still get so into them, and it's everything to me, you know. It really is. And you and everyone, you know, so it means a lot.
Yeah.
Which
we're looking at your which people are loving these photos. We're looking at your Angela cosplay now. I don't know if you can see it on your screen.
I can, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Everybody's digging it. And that is so fucking spot on, to the point where, like, you're a fairly popular Night of the Demons cosplayer. I was actually, like I said, creeping, trying to find these photos and stuff, and I came across like the Night of the Demons official page on Instagram, like, shouted you out for your birthday or something. And I guess you're known as Mangela to the
Angela. I mean, Amelia calls me Mangela because I'm the drag Angela, and it rhymes, and I'm all about it.
It works.
Yeah, she does that Instagram, and I'll do it too. If she can't do it, I'll do it. So we're both in charge of it. And she's great, and she's really embraced it. You know, she loves her fans, and I got her to get back into the dress herself and doing. That was a thing. I think we kind of pioneered the dressing up for photo ops. We were one of the first, and then it exploded. You know, like, which was cool. You know, to get her back into that, and which I never thought I'd see.
That's really fucking cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I love that they do that at, like, Living Dead weekend. That's why I say, like, and I saw another one of those photo ops today. Somebody posted a photo op. I can't remember who it was with. It was one of those. What was she in? She was in some movie, but it was a photo op somebody got with her, and it was just in front of this, like, sheet, and she's like 3 feet away, and they're just kind of like barely together. And I'm just like, God, can you imagine paying the money to get a photo like that with somebody? Whereas in, like, this, it's like you're in character. You have a set that you can play with. You know, it's like, that's what I love about Living Dead weekend. They actually put the time and effort to make it interactive. You know,
it's funny. Money, you know, there's something so what's the word? Not pretentious. With all Romero's actors, they have been the kindest, most approachable, relatable, people I've ever met in my life. And which maybe that's a testament to George's storytelling of extraordinary circumstances happening to ordinary people.
Yeah.
I think he picks people very well, and they're just so inviting, and they're at the mixer, and it's amazing. There really isn't a bad apple in the bunch, and so many lives have been touched by different ones, and I almost feel they're just as surprised as we are, maybe. I don't know, to be just in this thing together.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you gotta. I mean, think about some of the people that go to these shows. Like the stuff they did with Romero is pretty much all they did. You know, they didn't have big careers. A lot of the actors were just local theater actors that George plucked out of there and was just like, "Hey, John Amplis, you're a local theater guy. Let's put you in Martin." And now he's John Amplis. You know, it's like, and so you get these people that like that was their big thing, and that still is like the big calling card of their careers or whatnot. Or as opposed to, you go to some of the bigger cons, and a lot of these actors have done hundreds of movies at this point. So, and the thing that they're there for was just another job to a lot of these people. So they don't really have a real reverence for it the way that, somebody like I don't know, like a Bob Michelucci or somebody would have. It's just that. Yeah, and John Amplis, especially, like just talking about him, like nobody loves Martin more than John Amplis. Like you can go up to his table.
I didn't know that.
You can go up if you go up to his table and start talking to him about Martin, he'll talk to you about it for 30 minutes. And like
wow.
my buddy Grande did that. Grande's Graveyard. He was there at Living Dead Week, and he walked up to Amplis's table and was just talking to him about how much he loved Martin, how much he loved, his performance in it. And John just talked to him for like 30 minutes and just had a conversation, and then signed something for Grande, gave to him for free, and was just like, "Oh, dude, thank you. The pleasure was all mine." I'm just like, that's what it's all about, man. That's so cool.
And it's interesting because, not to put pressure on any of these actors, but there is some level of responsibility to know why you're there, understand that you've touched these people's lives, and to kind of be alert about it. Like there's some, I've met one or two, not many, not Romero, but like in general, you could tell they don't want to be there and they don't want to meet you.
Yeah.
And just to be a part of something that can affect someone's life positively is like, that's what I hope they take away from it. You know what I mean? But I don't know if everyone does, but
that's what I try to impart. Like when I meet somebody, like I'm really bad about meeting, people that I love from movies. Like I just don't know what to say. I don't want to come off as like a nagging fan. I don't want to be like, "Hey, I loved your movie, sir." Because I had that experience with George when I met George the first time. It was really that overwhelming moment where I'm getting closer. The lines, it's going down. I'm getting closer, and in my mind, I have the perfect thing that I'm going to say. I don't remember what it is, but in my mind at the time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to say this, and it's going to strike up a conversation, and blah blah blah. And then as soon as I get up to his table, I just look at him and I freeze, and I'm just like, "I'm your biggest fan." And he was just like, "Oh wow," he was so gracious about it. But at the same time, it was just like, "No, you don't say that." You have some. Well, I blew it. But yeah, but that's what I try to impart when I do meet people. It's like, yes, you were just in this movie for 30 seconds or whatever it was, but this movie has had such an impact on my life and has introduced me to so many of my closest friends, and has had such a like I said, just such an impact on my life. Like that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you being there at that moment in that role for that 30-second period. If it was anybody else, it may not have had that effect for whatever reason. It's a puzzle, and every little piece matters. So I just want you to know that like what you did all those years ago for for however long you were there made a massive impact on my life. And I hope they take that away from it, if nothing else.
And who could argue with that? You know what I mean? Like it's just, you would hope. It's funny, in a bizarre way, you could consider it as a level of heroism, like, because someone looks up to you for something,
and,
which is pretty freaking rad.
Yeah, and rare and pretty rare. Like how many people, I mean, I guess like on a local personal level, maybe you met somebody that you worked with or something, and you said something or did something for them that they remember years later or something like that. But on a mass level like that, for something that we're probably just there, like especially like something like Dawn of the Dead. If you were a zombie in Dawn of the Dead, you just happened to be there. You just happened to be at the mall that night, and they were just like, "Hey, you want some? Let's slap some pancake makeup on you and have you walk around." I'm like, all right, I guess that sounds fun. I'm kind of drunk and it's late at night. Why not? Let's do it. And then here you are 50 years later sitting there, and then somebody's like, "Oh my God, can I have your autograph?" It's got to be surreal to some of these people.
Surreal, and to be in something so iconic, like and even the smallest zombie you could remember, like you're the one walking by the hippie.
Yeah.
I love the ones that are trapped in the car, like they died in the car and they can't get out, and the other zombies don't understand, so they're like pushing on the windows. Like that is genius. Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't understand. And okay, the guy that runs, I'm gonna out him. The guy that does the mall tours, he told me he has footage of the zombies outside, and I'm like, how do we get to see this? Like all the ones of them just trying to get in. Like, and I'm like, that would be so fascinating to see, because I love those shots.
I've seen it. He does have it.
God.
He has the dailies from the first day of shooting on Dawn of the Dead, and that was the first stuff that they shot, was the stuff outside. And yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty amazing. It also has the original ending too, where Fran dies and the zombies. Yeah,
they shot that.
They did. Well, they didn't shoot the actual effect, but they shot the final shot of Fran's body on the roof and the zombies, coming in on it. And then there's like a long pan that slowly goes back, and you see the helicopter blades spinning, and then it's pretty incredible stuff.
And but that, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but I like to think it's the same zombie. The guy in the boxer shorts, I always like to pretend it's the same guy at night, because similar outfit. He just wandered over the
Well,
mall.
our theory, we did this on a show one night where me and the chat were coming up with like zombie backstories for all these random zombies in Dawn of the Dead, because that's what we do here, guys. We're uber nerds. And his backstory was, he was famous in Monroeville at the time for being the belly flop splash king of Monroeville. You could hire him for bachelor parties, you could hire him for birthday parties, and his whole thing, he would show up, pool party, make big fucking belly flop splash. It was just, a bachelor party gag. And that's how he died. He just had a heart attack and fell off the board or something, and and that's why he's in his shorts still, and
his last belly flop.
He's the belly flop king of Monroeville, which there's another t-shirt idea I'm gonna write down real quick.
That's fantastic. Yes. And how he kind of, when he gets shot, he just kind of falls. He keels over into the fountain and not even flinching. Like, oh, and another one. There's the funeral home zombie that I love. Everyone else is green and gray, and he's in heavy peach flesh-colored makeup because he just came out of a coffin at a viewing.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was genius. Like just attention to detail.
Nobody, I don't think anybody has been able to pinpoint who that guy is for all these years. But the rumor is, I don't know if this is true or not, but this could be breaking news. I think I may have heard that they have found who that is, and there's a possibility that he'll be at the Living Dead weekend in October. The guy that plays that zombie that you're talking about. So just a perfect example of just a guy that was probably like an insurance salesman or something at the time, and has gone through all these years, and now they're just like, hey, we need you. Like, people are gonna like yeah, I'll be there to I need your autograph, man. Like, I need to meet you, because I do love that one.
I love that one too, and it's a really cool shot because he's with a child zombie, and there's a lot of humanity to this. You know what I mean? Like, just to see how maybe they've died, or it's all so extraordinary, and that footage. I will see it one day. But
I'll
like,
talk. I'll talk to Larry. Larry's usually in the chat. I don't see him in here tonight. He might be busy, but Larry's my boy. Maybe I can hook you up.
Larry, I gotta see
somehow.
it. But yeah, and you see like there's a woman in overalls there. I didn't even know they wore overalls in the 70s. I thought that was 80s. But like just all their outfits I like looking at. Like I'm blown away every time.
It's literally just a snapshot of the time period, you know. Yeah, I love it.
And my favorite zombie, Sharon, the nurse, is my favorite. Oh,
there
she is.
Sharon Hill. Sharon Hill.
Love her. Love you.
Of course.
Sharon.
And of course.
Oh, there I am. Yes.
There you are. Paying the ultimate tribute. Now, what is it about? Like, what did you love that zombie before you met Sharon? Because I know you've met her. Okay. Because I know when you meet Sharon, you instantly fall in love with her. She's one of the biggest sweethearts in the friggin' world. Like that 2008 show that I was telling you about. Maybe my favorite guest, like outside of Romero, like that was just a dream come true. But maybe my favorite people that I met at that show were Sharon and Clayton. Clayton was still alive at the time, and they were just the coolest people you could have hoped to meet. Like, yeah, so I get it.
She was one of the ones when I did meet her, I did get really nervous. I mean, she's very sweet. And I think there were definitely times where I didn't know what to say, which is so stupid because it's like, just tell her you love her. And I have. But she did say I was the best nurse zombie of her she ever saw. So, and that was a huge compliment because I'm sure there have been plenty others. But I just love her so much. I've always loved that character. That's, by the way, so that I tried a different makeup. And sometimes it showed up okay, sometimes it didn't. The other one, other years I did this kind of green makeup, gray green. So I tried something different this time because I've done her multiple times. So sometimes I like how it photographs, sometimes I don't. But she was my favorite as a kid. She's in this book. There's a really cool photo of her. I don't know why I just gravitated toward. Look at her there. There she is.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. You know, like I love that character. It's like you think you look at the zombie and you're like, okay, where did she come from? Like, what happened to her? How did she die? Like, and just her movements. Because that's the thing about Dawn of the Dead zombies that are different than most other zombies is that they're just lost souls more than anything. Yeah. They're just like, why am I still here? Why, what is going on? Like, they're just as confused as anybody else because they're just running on instinct at that point. And she perfectly encapsulates that. When you see her, she's just got that look on her face of like that you're doing there in that photo. You're just like, why am I here?
Exactly. And her hair, and she's just amazing. And she's a hottie patati too. And her A-line nurse outfit, and it's perfectly fit. And she told me George was like, you're going to be the nurse. Here's your dress. I don't know. Like, he had a rack of stuff, you know, like, and she's just amazing. And I like that she predominantly through the whole film, she doesn't get shot when they're cleaning out the mall. She somehow wanders out. Good for her. And she's just iconic, and she ends up on the roof, and which is sad because I want her to get down and still wander around. I don't want her falling off the roof. She's an icon.
You do wonder, like, what happens to all those zombies? Do they just kind of just slowly just start falling off, you know?
Falling off the roof, maybe. But I just love her. And it's interesting. It's the Argento cut. You never really see her, because I don't think she had the opportunity. You never really see her attack anybody. There's a scene in the Argento cut which I love, and I'm so sad it didn't make it in the other cuts. When they shoot one of the bikers, he's not fatally wounded. They shoot his bike in the mall, and he falls. You see a bunch of zombies walking towards him, and one of them, Sharon, and she's doing it so good, and you see her whole outfit, and she's like this, and I'm like, why? That should have been in there too. It's just prime Sharon.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
really
find
cool.
that. I'll have to go back and find, because that's the thing with all those cuts, man. It's like there's just little stuff. Even though it's a shorter version, there's like way more in that cut than, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know why they didn't make it in there, but that's why I love all the different cuts. I'm like, what mood am I in?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
are you an Italian mood?
I love her.
Yeah. Shout out.
Exactly.
Shout out real quick, Mutineer 1408 before I forget, guys. Sorry, I'm a little behind. Mutineer, thanks for the gifted membership, man. I appreciate that. It's very cool of you. And Marty Gras with a $5 super chat. Can you put in a good word with Living Dead Weekend to get Martin, the lead actor, there? John Amplis, I would say there's a good shot. There's a good chance that John will be there. He's usually at all of the Living Dead weekends. So I'll put in a word with Larry, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't really have anything to do, but I'll ask him about that. See what's what Amplis's status is. But appreciate the super chat, man. Oh, did we lose? Oh no, we lost Greg again. Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Oh, there you are. Oh, no. No audio. No audio. Oh, wait. No audio. It was going so well. Uh-oh. Nope. You can hop out, hop back in. Oh, wait. No. yeah. We're just gonna have to communicate with sign language for the rest of the show. Oh. No, yeah, you're in and out. No audio. Yeah, this would be a good time to play charades. Which is kind of what I'm doing here with the tapping of the headphone here. All right, he's hopping out. I think he's gonna try to hop back in. But yeah, just super cool shit. And I got more here to show you guys. I want him to talk about too. But this was another photo I wanted to share. This was back in June. Another cosplayer doing the Hare Krishna zombie. That's dedication right there. But yeah, just super cool. And he was talking about, of course, Barbara from Night 90 earlier, and he's done a Barbara from Night 90 as well, which is pretty fucking spot on. Again, what was the word? Mousy? Got the mousy? Satan, I'm late. Who is this guy? Is he just a fan? Yeah, just a fan like all of us. But he's a cosplay artist. He's the co-host of a podcast you guys should check out. Really cool podcast called Fright Court. Tim and his two other co-hosts, where they cover horror sequels that deserve their day in court, is their tagline. I've listened to a couple of the episodes this week, and I was like, this is pretty good shit. It's pretty entertaining. So check that out. The link to the podcast is down in the description too, guys. If you guys want to check it out, it's Fright Court. But yeah, there you are. I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, good.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
All right, you're back.
All right. I'm back.
I was just showing him your Barbara from Night 90.
Barbara, there she is.
There you go.
There's my girl. I love this version of Barbara. I was talking about earlier. I just love her nerdy school teacher mousy look. I just love her costume there, because I love how drastic she will be later.
Yeah, it's like they make her, as like I said, as mousy as possible at the beginning, so she has that far to go by the end of the movie, where she's in fucking combat boots and camo pants, and I love completely different and completely new person at the end.
Yeah, and I love how offended she is at everything her brother does, which I just love. She's like, "Oh, he's gonna hear you," which is paying homage to Judith. I just love it. She's just mad. She's like, "You bastard."
Yeah.
I just love her.
Which I will say, Bill Moseley's Johnny is far more annoying than I don't blame her in the remake. Far more annoying than Russ's
He's a
Johnny.
turd. Yeah, he's like, You know,
Just
and
like this fucking guy.
and thank you, by the way, so much for sending me the work print.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
It was so cool to see the different dialogue with them arguing in the car, and it
Yeah.
just, you know, that was so rad to see. It's really fascinating what makes it in and what doesn't, things like that. My only gripe would be, I want to talk about the director's cut if you have a second. But
Sure.
my only gripe would be, there were all these tight shots of them in the beginning. I wish I would have seen their whole outfits for a second before they start getting attacked by the zombie. but it's a very fast-paced, almost action-like remake, so I get it. You know, he wasn't maybe thinking about that, but it's flawless, and that's my tribute to her. She's my partner did Commando Barbara. We met a girl that did In Between Barbara, where she's a little bloody and messed up, but that's like my favorite one. Big time. It's such a short-lived moment.
You fucking nailed it, dude.
I love it. Thank you.
You nailed it. That's like
and I met Patricia there that time, and she was amazing.
Oh, really?
I took a photo with her in the costume, and oh my god, a little bit of tea for y'all. When we were in the line to do the photo op, there was a fight with either William Butler and Tom Savini. Some shit went down.
I heard about that. Yeah.
We were in line and we're like, what's going on? And it was getting like rowdy and loud, and there was commotion. I still don't know exactly what it was about, but there was some shit going down. And I remember,
I heard about that, and that's apparently why Living Dead Weekend will never have William Butler back. I don't know what the argument was about. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, I heard that he kind of lost his shit. So yeah, that was 2022, right? Yeah, Brandon remembers it. What's up, Brandon?
Hi,
Michelle
Brandon.
Michelle says she was there for that fight. What was it about? What was it about? Because I knew if something happened, but I don't remember what the fight was even about. So yeah. So there you go. There you go. Apparently everybody was there except me.
You didn't go that year.
No, I was there. I just wasn't. I guess I just wasn't in the right place at the right time. I guess.
Got it. Well, and it was funny because right before that, William Butler, I have a complicated relationship with him. He was one of my first crushes growing up, and big time. I thought he was so cute. Night of the Living Dead. And one time I met him at a party, and Kevin Tenney, that directed Night of the Demons, was there, and I had told Kevin that William Butler was one of my first crushes. He goes up to William Butler and tells him this. William Butler kind of just laughs in my face, and I don't care, but I was like, oh, that was really embarrassing. And then cut to a few years later, I'm at this convention, and I'm in this costume, and I'm in line. This was before the fight happened, I believe. And William Butler walks past me in line, looks me up and down, and goes, I forgot what he said, but let's just say he was just like hilarious, and walks away like that. And I was just like, yeah, I guess there's no romance there.
I've never met him. I've never met him, but yeah, just from what because I guess Brandon's saying involved a photographer, which was Angela doing the photography at that time, guys? I don't remember. She does all the photography for the photo ops now. But yeah, that's kind of what everybody's saying. I can't quite remember what it was about, but Billy Butler lost it on the chick that was working the photo op line or the photographer. That's weird.
Really funny. Yeah, you know.
Satan's probably got it right here. He might have been a little drunk at the time, but yeah.
There's always something going on at the Living Dead Con. That's for sure.
Always some fucking drama. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, exactly. But fun time. Definitely.
He won't be back, so enjoy it.
And then Patricia was with Bill Moseley, and it was funny. I had paid for the photo with her, and it was really sweet. Bill wanted the picture of all of us together because he liked my costume, and that would have been cool too. But Bill Moseley's really cool. He actually shops by my I work at Trader Joe's, and he shops at mine sometimes. So I go, "Hey, Chop Top."
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty
funny.
awesome.
Yeah. It's really,
Yeah,
it's
Bill
really cool.
seems Bill always seems just like, again, another guy that's just as big of a fan of the movies as anybody. Like, just loves horror movies. Just a cool fucking dude.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't Angela. Okay, maybe that's why they went to Angela then, because of what happened there. I don't know. I missed it, unfortunately. Sounds
But
fun.
I got my photo. In fact, wait, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold up. Where are you? Is this one? I think I have it in this photo album. Aha! There I am with Barbara.
That's perfect.
Pretty cool.
Very
Love her.
nice.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
that was a fun
Patricia's-
time.
But somebody was asking if Patricia Tallman has done Living Dead Weekend before. She has. I wouldn't be surprised to see her show up in October. I know she's doing the rounds. I've seen her advertised for a couple of different conventions here over the next month or so. So she might be looking to come back. So
Are you going to the October one?
I'm gonna try. I haven't fully committed yet. There's some like work commitments that I got to work around at my job, and if I can make it happen, I'll be there. I'm you know, it'll be hard for me to miss out on, you know, maybe the last one, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I know it's a sore topic, but if they do it again next year, I will go. Just because it's so fun, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I know they have Steel City Con there, and so I imagine them still having the people there, you know, doing like Living Dead people doing conventions out there.
Well, I know Larry. I know talking to Larry. Larry's mentioned that Kevin, there's still plans to still do Living Dead Weekend even after the mall's gone. They'll still do it somewhere else. It'll just kind of suck, not, you know, I mean, because it didn't start at the mall. I mean, Living Dead Weekend was going on for quite a while in Evans City for quite a few years before they went to the mall. So it'll just be weird not being at the mall. It won't be, you know, won't be quite the same draw, because that's kind of the draw of the con as it is. It's like, oh, I get to go. They're having a convention at the Dawn of the Dead Mall. Like, that's fucking awesome. You know, that's
yeah.
You know, so not having that's going to kind of suck, but they still plan on doing Living Dead Weekend going forward. So I don't know where
cool.
or what the plans are for it going forward.
In the parking lot.
Yeah, I don't know. The Walmart parking lot. Yeah, who knows?
Well, it's funny. I was like, you don't even need to bulldoze the place. The fans will take it apart brick by brick.
Exactly. Just give us a month or so, a few U-Hauls, and yeah, we'll take care of it.
We got this. Yeah. I even saw, I don't know if you saw this. I saw the wall. Someone was already taking bricks out of the wall. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah.
I was like, they're not wasting any time.
No, everybody wants a little piece. I gotta say, like, I'll admit, I do have little pieces of the mall that I've kept for my own sake. I got shit from all kinds of stuff, but yeah, I've taken a few things here and there, I gotta say. So
I want the marble.
But all right. Yeah, give me a slab of that marble, and I'll be a happy man. I'll do something with it. So yeah, some of your other cosplays, I did want to point these out because I was just blown away looking at some of these. So, Fright Night,
love Fright
Night. Check this out, guys. How fucking badass is that? Oh,
hey, yeah, she's great. I met Amanda before. One of my favorite vampire movies. So cool. And I love the sequel. I'm glad that's getting a Blu-ray soon. Finally.
yeah. That's kind of exciting because that's one of those that's like nobody ever thought was going to happen, and then all of a sudden it's like here it is. I remember growing up watching the sequel more than I watched the original, like because they used to play the sequel all the time. I felt like on HBO. So yeah, I'm excited because I haven't seen that in years and years and years. So I'm excited to finally revisit it. But yeah, there's the alteration on the
yeah,
it looks awesome.
That was my first time doing that.
How did you? Is it just
I drew it on.
up right? But like, that's pretty fucking good.
Thank you.
Where was that? What was that for?
That was just for fun.
Okay. That was just a Sunday when I had nothing else to do. I was just like, fuck it, I'll do it.
You know what's funny? A lot of the ones I do are when I'm bored and I want to be creative, and I just do them at home.
Hey, that's even better because, like, to me, like, so I'm sure this applies to you as well. I feel like a lot of people, when they do cosplay, they go to the shows, they don't really have a real love or affinity for the characters or the movies per se, but they're going to be seen, to be a star, to get the attention, I guess. And I'm sure that plays a part into it. But to hear that you just do this just because, I love that. That's awesome to me. Like, this is just me bored on a Sunday. I had nothing else to do. I was like, oh yeah, let's do this.
Oh yeah, totally. I'll make my own little sets. So funny.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Demone.
This is one of my favorites of yours, Sally. The fucking Demons 2, which I have a funny story about meeting the lady who plays Sally, who's in a lot of Argento
Carolina
stuff. Yeah, I can never pronounce her name.
Yeah, is it Coralina? I don't know.
I wrote it down just so I could. Coralina Cataldi Tassoni.
Yeah. That sounds like a yummy dish.
Yes, it does. It sounds very Italian. So I'm a huge Argento fan. I love Demons. I love all of Argento stuff. She's in a lot of Argento stuff. So I was a fan of hers. In 2008, she was at a convention, that convention that I've been talking about all night. She was at that show, Texas Frightmare Weekend, and I was excited to meet her. I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking Sally. She's in opera. She's in a lot of Argento stuff. Trauma. So I go up to her table, and she's just kind of sitting there like nobody's really coming up to her table, I guess. And at the time, she was trying to sell a CD of some music that she was promoting. I guess she was a singer. And so I go up to her table and I say, like, hey, I'm a huge fan of yours. Like, hey, it's awesome to see you. Thanks for being here. And she says, oh, well, would you like to buy one of my CDs? And she tries to hand me her CD, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Like, I didn't even know you did music, And she just kind of looked at me and kind of sneered and was just like, "Oh, well, some big fan you are," and just kind of snatched the CD out of my hand and just like fucking ignored me. And I was just like, "Yeah," I was just like, "God damn, like, sorry, I didn't know you sang fucking opera, lady. I just liked you because you were fucking Sally in Demons 2, or it's just like, all right, well, fuck you, I'm out of here, like." But just that, oh, well, some big fan you are, and just snatch it out of my hands, just like, all right.
She was like a demon.
Yeah, she turned into a fucking demon. Yeah,
she turned into a demon. She did. I've never met her before, but I tagged her in those, and she wrote me and everything, and reposted them, and said she was really proud of me, and put them in her story. And so I definitely got a kick out of that, because I don't know if I'll ever meet her, but she's definitely, sorry, Angela, she's definitely the scariest demon I've ever seen. Like,
yes,
they terrify me.
Yes. Like as a child in my nightmares, these were the monsters that were in my nightmares coming to get me. Like, that's the thing I love about demons, that like, it's so still to this day, I mean, just look at the photo from the movie. Like, that's fucking terrifying to me. I don't know, but it still holds up. But these are fucking
not a real
awesome.
person. You know what I mean? Like, that's a demon. And part 2 is the scariest in my opinion, because being trapped in a apartment already. Okay, this is kind of stupid, but I already have a little, not a fear, but I have an anxiety of going upstairs if someone's behind me, because I for some reason think they're gonna just start chasing me up the stairs. I don't know why, but like, if I get that in my head, I'll go faster. You know what I mean? And I don't know why, but so in this movie, there's so many shots of them going upstairs and looking down at stairwells and all that. And so I swear I probably had nightmares. Just if you were trying to outrun them up the stairs, like it would just. I don't know. I think I'd be a goner. It'd be my worst nightmare, because
Yeah.
they're so terrifying and just
Mm-hmm.
they're so vicious, and their eyes glow, and they're all kind of dangly, and you know what I mean? Like they're just
Yeah, their
so wow.
mannerisms that they have are fucking like you kind of nail it there when she's because she's literally like a young girl having a birthday party meltdown, but she's turned into a fucking demon, and that's like two of the scariest things in life. Teenage girl having a birthday party meltdown and a fucking demon, and it's like get me the hell out of there. We were talking about tweens earlier, and it's just like yeah, get me the hell out of there.
Well, okay,
Um,
here's a theory I'd love to share with you. So in that film, it's all about this ex-boyfriend of her, Jacob, and that throws her into a fit. And
mm-hmm.
and they're like, what did Jacob do to her? And you're like, obviously it must have been maybe, I don't know, she lost her virginity to him or something. But there's a scene when she's turning into a demon, or no, she is a demon, and she had killed all her friends. She starts like oozing blood, but you see blood coming from between her legs, and I always thought, did Jacob get her pregnant? I don't know. That's just a weird little theory I had, because they really emphasize blood coming between her legs and then through the floor. But because like, what did he do that was so bad that she just can't see him? Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah,
that's total
that
fan
would
theory. But I always
it
thought
makes
that.
sense because that would totally explain her
Blow
irrational,
up.
yeah, just
Yeah.
anger at everything. It just like get the fuck out, get out.
And yeah. And you see Jacob, he's such the type.
He's baby daddy material for sure.
He's
Yeah,
baby daddy material. And I love all the guests at the party. I love the soundtrack. You got the Smiths and Peter Murphy and all kind of like the goth new wave stuff,
yeah,
which I love. And
yeah.
I love when they're all dancing. That's how I heard about the Smiths, was that movie,
Oh yeah,
Panic on the
Panic
Streets.
on
Yeah,
the
like
streets of London.
perfect.
Yeah.
Like so. Yeah, I love
Those
that
movies are
party. I
great.
was
Like Demons
they're
2 is
great.
one of those sequels that's just as good as the original. And then the original is like one of my all-time favorites. That's one of those movies I can just put on at any time. Demons 2 is the one that I saw first. And I'm kind of with you. Like it is as scary or maybe scarier just for the television aspect of it. Like the idea of what you're watching turning towards you and looking at you through your television screen and then coming through the television screen. Like that always still freaks me out when I see that shit.
It's interesting too, because when he's in the room with her, Sally is horrified and he takes her out. And that's what was so great with the film, is because now she's this vicious thing that's not herself. But it was just so interesting to see how terrified and vulnerable she was before she's not that anymore. And then she's the terrifying one. I thought that was really interesting. Very well done on her part. And just scary how she runs. And I love the prostitute in the elevator. That was cool. I love her. Well, I loved her anyway because she's kind of campy, but like when she's a demon, you don't see her yet, and she's kind of fucking with the guy. She's like, "Don't leave me," and then rah! Like it shows they have that side to them, which is even scarier. They don't overdo it, but they have the capacity to try to fool you a little bit. With you think that they're not possessed, but they are. Which is interesting. Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Or in the first movie when the girl's in the vent and you don't know where the scratching's coming from. Brilliant. Amazing. Yeah, love it.
My favorite line in the original was the punk girl when she spills the cocaine out of the Coke can. And the guy fucking freaks out. Ripper freaks out and he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Clean it up. And you just hear this weird, like, because all Italian back then was all ADR because there was no sound shot on set. And it's just like her the way she says it, where she's like, not my fault, Ripper. And it's just like, shut up, clean it up. So I say that all the time. Not my fault, Ripper.
Well, I love when she goes, it's even in my panties. And he goes, all of it. Like, it's all of it. Funny.
It's so over the top. I love it.
And there's two different versions. One, the punk sound better. Like there's one version where they sound terrible. Like there's better dubbing in this other one. I don't know which one it is. But they sound better, more cohesive. And the old couple sound better too. Like she's in this one, she's saying, "Oh, it's too gory of a movie," and he goes, "Ruth, shut up!" Like, like
Yeah, he's
that's
just like, we just shut
I
up.
like that one more. Yeah, yeah. So it's they're such good movies. That's another
Yeah.
one I could watch them and I'm just sucked in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
terrifying. But I think
Love
you'll like.
'em.
I think you'll like Night of the Demons if you like those. You know, for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just
Not to
it's
keep going
just,
back
it
to
hasn't
that.
it hasn't crossed my path yet, but I will watch it for Halloween this year. You have my word.
Okay.
I've been
All right.
chastised by you and the chat tonight for that, so I have to redeem myself. So I will.
It's a rite of passage.
So here we go.
Oh.
Sigourney Weaver. This was a good one. Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Nailed it.
Sigourney. Thank you.
Nailed it.
She was fun.
This one. So I saw this one. I said, "Oh, it's Bride of Frankenstein," and then what?
It's
the
Bride of
fuck is-
Boogedy.
What the fuck is Mr. Boogedy? I have never heard of this in my life. What the hell
You'll
is
love
Mr.
it.
Boogedy?
There was a time in the 80s where Disney made for TV movies were amazing. They were actually kind of scary and there was a lot of high quality to them. This was one of them. And it's got like David Faustino. I think Kirsty Swanson was in the original one. I'm blanking on everybody. The guy from The Thing is in there. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on his name, but he has a beard and he's the father in each of those movies. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but kind of an all-star cast, right? And Eugene Levy is in Bride of Boogedy. They're just really fun movies. Yeah, oh yeah. And it's just these little Halloween movies, and there's a entity called Mr. Boogedy, and he wants his magic cloak back. And in the second one, he turns one of the characters into his bride. And I don't know if you had to be there, but they're just those fun little Halloween movies that I don't think they really make anymore. But it's I would watch it with your daughter.
Like, well, it's funny because like I was looking at it and I see the Disney logo, but it looks pretty disturbing. I was like, what is
maybe
this?
watch it first then. It scared the shit out of me.
She'll be fine. She loves Chucky and Killer Clowns. Like I think
she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. But I've never heard of it before. I was like, what the fuck is Bride of Boogedy? I've never heard of that.
They're amazing. I think you would like it a lot. Yeah, and good movie. Really good.
Okay. All right. I'll put that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch that. I'll watch that sometime after Night of the Demons. I'll put that on the list.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll see.
Love it.
What we got here? Okay. Subspecies.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about subspecies. Oh,
I love those movies so much.
Okay.
I'm the biggest nerd over them.
You need to hang out, become friends with my friend Will. Because Will Phelps, he is one of the biggest, like he has one of the I forget what the fuck they're called. Excuse me. What is that called that you're holding?
The Bloodstone.
Bloodstone, there you go. He has one of those, like an actual, like solid, like probably maybe that one. But he is one of the biggest, like I'd never heard of him until he turned me on to him. And he was like, oh, dude, check these out. And I agree, like they're very underrated, under-talked about fucking movies. I was like, these are so good, man. Like the guy that plays Radu. I think he's great. Like, what a character. So like I'd never heard of it or really heard many people talk about it before until I met him, and then he kind of turned me on to it. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I gotta send this to Will. Will would get a fucking huge kick out of this thing.
And they're filmed in Transylvania, and like I mean, it just adds so much to them, you know. And they're just Full Moon. It's funny. So I was very fortunate. There's a huge article about me in Full Moon's magazine, Delirium. It's this one, and
oh wow,
they were so cool. And it was I have like a 7-page interview with photos, and but I didn't know it was Full Moon. I didn't know it was for Delirium yet. So when I found out that's the cut I made, I was so honored because I love Full Moon. I love what they stand for. I love their movies. talk about comfort food. Like that's a lot of stuff I rented growing up. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
so team Full Moon. Like I'm always wanting them to succeed, and I love them. And Subspecies 5 was fantastic. I went to the premiere they had for it, and it's long awaited sequel, and I love them, love them, love them. And the Bloodstone was a dream come true. I always wanted one, and then Full Moon finally made one, and it looks great, and just in time for that photo shoot.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know
Worked
what I
out.
want to use. That was another one. I was just home and bored. Yeah,
This was
there's
just
another one.
Yeah, this was Monday night. You know, this is like, all right,
This
what
was
else can we do
Monday.
here?
And I do kind of know Denise Duff, who plays that character, and so she's seen them, and she's fantastic, and she's kind of my online buddy, and
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I know they just had I know Will was he went to it. They just had a cast reunion Subspecies up in Cleveland.
So cool.
A few months, but 6 months ago or something like that, and he said it was pretty freaking cool. They had everybody there, so yeah. I don't know. I saw that.
I haven't met, so
like,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've only met Denise
very, very cool.
and maybe another one, but it's rare to meet any of them. And the first one too, you hardly anybody from the first one, but I love the first one too. It's so good.
So and they're directed by Ted Nicolau, who worked on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where he got his start, which brings me to maybe my favorite, even more than the Romero stuff, my favorite cosplay that you've done.
Renee Zellweger.
Fucking Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. And this is spot on. Like,
thank you. Wow, thank you.
Good. So good.
I love her so much. I can't wait to talk about this. This one was magic. I drug my partner out into this park, and and we were doing stuff in the wood. There we go. And middle of the day, I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, the middle of the day, I'm going to this park. Anyone could watch. I don't give a shit. But I was like, I'm doing this, and I love Renee so much, and this one was kind of magic, because I really felt I did a really, really good job at this one. Not to even toot my horn, but I kind of embodied it. All I could say is my love for this movie, I think, poured out into this. So I'm actually very proud of this one. I really am. Yeah, I gotta say, because I love Renee Zellweger. I've actually met her before. I've met McConaughey before. I'm just madly in love with this movie, and I could care less if anyone hates it. More for me to love. There's not one thing anyone could say that will change my mind.
Hell yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't care. Oh, thank you.
They say you look just like her. You really did. You fucking nailed it. Like when you showed me, I was like, oh my god, like that's fucking awesome.
And she's another one. I love her transformation. Like she starts that way, but then later she's just ripped to tethers her dress. The funny thing is her corsage lasts the whole fucking movie, which is
even when they switch dresses. Yeah,
put that back on. Yeah. Amazing, right?
When she's when the fucking woman's like, oh, I got this dress that looked great on you, and it's like she made sure to put the corsage back on it. You know, it's
love
awesome.
it. Yeah, it's perfect. I was like, that's great. And Renee Zellweger, I'm actually in love with. She's my hetero crush. I think she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. and I followed her from Chainsaw is the reason why I've kind of followed along with her other movies. I still haven't seen Bridget Jones, I have to admit, but I've seen everything else, and I just adore her. I just think she's such a wonderful actress. I love that she's very eclectic with her body of work. She could do it all, and what a scream queen. I hope she does more horror. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always so weird to me when, because she's really good in Next Generation, in my opinion. Like she
Really good.
pulls it off, and it's like when people are like, oh, they didn't want people to know that she was in it. They didn't want people to know that McConaughey was in it, so they were trying to hide it and all that shit. I'm like, why? like she's good in it. Like it's a very physical role. She pulls it off. She's funny in it. When we like there's like when she, you sit the fuck down, that whole thing. Like she fits. I don't know. It's
You know what's funny?
that whole thing.
I've never heard anyone. I don't know. Watch, there's the comments will be pouring in. Just kidding. I've never heard anyone critique her, which is nice. I just hear people say they don't like it. I hear a lot of it's because they're upset that Leatherface is a drag queen. I don't think he is. I think he has multiple personalities.
Yeah, no more so than he was in the original. Like at one point, he's like grandma. He's the got the He has multiple personalities. Like, I've never understood that either.
It's so bizarre to me, and that's a cop-out critique, which I'm just like, fine, be that way. Yeah, I don't care. But like, and that's at the actual house. I went to the house.
I was gonna say I had to throw this in there because you're at the fucking house, and I was like, I recognized it as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh my god, he found that. Where's that at? That's in Texas, right?
Yeah, that's in Pflugerville, Texas.
Pflugerville, Texas. All right.
Yep. And that's as close as I can get to it, but it still looks like it from the movie.
It does. I mean, it's instantly recognizable. When I came across the photo, I was like, that's the fucking house. Holy shit, he's at the house.
Yeah, it's so cool to see it. And I have I wanted to share with everyone. I have this newspaper clipping. Let me try to take it out. That I still have from when the movie came out. I cut it out of the paper.
Yeah.
Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah. Joe Bob, the best horror film of the 90s. Hell yeah.
You go, Joe Bob. I have a lot from this movie, but this is one thing I wanted to show everybody. I still have my ticket stub. I
know it's crazy. You're probably one of the few people I've ever known that actually saw it in theaters when it came out. Like
twice.
To me, like I didn't see it until it came out on video. I think I first saw it on like Cinemax or something when it first came out, when they were playing it. So for some reason, I guess just assumed it was a straight to video release. So I didn't even know it had a theatrical run because of the whole, holding it back for 2 or 3 years or whatever. So it's funny. So I had, long story short, I had just gotten into the Chainsaw movies not long before the fourth one. And my friend was like, they're doing a 4. I'm like, what? And they were like, it's in Fangoria. So I ran and bought the Fangoria. It's still one of my favorite issues because it happens to tackle, it's gold, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, Hellraiser Bloodline, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. The 3 holy grail of the wacky mid-90s sequels. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the holy trinity of wacky.
It was just missing fucking Leprechaun in space, or Leprechaun in the Hood. Just throw that in there. It's perfect.
Oh, 100%. So I went out and bought this, and I remember seeing the photo of Renee, and I was like, this is before Final Girl came out. It wasn't a word yet, I don't think. But I was like, there's the new Chainsaw Girl. And it was a photo of her laying on the ground and with her pearls. And I think when she jumped out of a window, and I was kind of instantly in love with her. I was like, who is she? And it kind of spiraled from there. I was waiting for it to come out, and it didn't. I waited some more, and it didn't. Then someone told me the movie called The Fan with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes had the trailer for Texas Chainsaw 4. So I ran and bought and rented the tape. There it was. And it was the best thing I've ever seen. Like it was like the Holy Grail was in front of my face. And the trailer, whether you like the movie or not, the trailer is quite good. It's actually a really good trailer, and it shows Renee in the woods. And so I watched it 80,000 times, and I was just waiting for the movie to come out. I called Sony like the biggest nerd and asked when it's coming out.
Who did you call it, Sony? Was it just like a receptionist, or did you call?
Yeah, I was really young. I fucking got the phone book out, Sony, and I called fucking Sony, and wow, I don't even care. And I was like, "Would you know when this blah, blah, blah's coming out?" And there was a long pause, and they were probably like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" And they said it'll be out later in the year, and then I think they hung up. But it did.
That's what they
It
tell
came
everybody
out.
about
That's
everything. It'll be later in the year. Don't worry about it.
yeah. And then I even fucking questioned them. I'm like, well, wasn't it filmed 3 years ago? I was like,
You start
yeah,
interrogating this poor receptionist who has
Yeah.
just there, you know.
I wanted answers, man. And so, but lo and behold, you know what? A few months go by, and my stepdad at the time, he goes, "Oh, your mom and I are going to the movies. Do you want to come with us? We're going to see something else, but it says here Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You want to see that?" I was like, "Texas Chainsaw Massacre?" I'm like, are they re-releasing the original? He's like, "No, it says it right here." And the listing just said Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But you open up the paper and it was this. So I was like, "What?" And so it was because of him, I wouldn't have known. So I ran to go see it. And I just remember it was a somewhat empty theater. But
Well, it probably didn't have very much advertisement either. It was just kind of like, I mean, if somebody like you didn't know that it was playing at the theater, like, who the hell did, you know?
This is all it got. And so, but I saw it, and I just remember being so happy. And I've never been unhappy about it since. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a nerd about it since. Then I took my friend to see it, and I'm just in love with it. It's so fun. It's like the Rocky Horror of the series because it's out there. It's kind of bonkers. It is kind of like Rocky Horror. Like they get into car trouble. They have to go to this house where all these crazy people are in, and you got Leatherface that's like Frankenfurter, and I don't know. Oh, and the first shot is Renee's big old lips, like in Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like it is Rocky Horror, and so I just love it. It has some of the best chase scenes. It's got really good characters. I love the costumes. McConaughey,
man. All right.
Yes.
We're gonna have some fun. Like, talk about an actor just going so over the top and nailing it. Like, just he's so fucking entertaining in that movie. He's so fucking crazy. You buy it. You believe it. If that was his only role ever, you would think that dude was really fucking crazy. In the same way that you feel like when you watch the original that Ed Neal is really that fucking crazy as the hitchhiker, or Jim Sedow is really that old guy, that old cook. Like, to me, like when I think of Chainsaw Next Generation, like to me, it's like, for me, that's as close to the original as any of the sequels ever got in terms of trying to capture that feeling. Because you look at the other characters in that movie, you look at fucking the dude that's always quoting people, like that dude's a real dude you fucking run into in Texas. Yeah, W.E. You know, those are like, and it was shot in Texas. It was made by Kim Hinkle, who was involved in the first one, co-wrote the first one. Like, it just has that aura, that essence. The soundtrack, some of the music in it sounds like music from the original.
Blondie's on it. Deborah Harry with Leatherface singing together. Come on. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so underappreciated. It's so I don't know. It's and the whole Illuminati thing. Like, I know people are like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy. Like, why would that be a thing?" But for me, it's like it's all there in the original too. If you're looking for it, like I feel like that was something that Kim Hinkle and Toby Hooper were talking about even then, because they were fucking hippie Texans who were probably dropping acid and getting into all the conspiracy theories and shit too. So like that's kind of there too already, but they just went full bore with it on fucking Next Generation when Rothman shows up, and he's that whole scene is fucking creepy as shit to me. Just the guy fucking licking her and just like, I want you to show them the meaning of horror. Do you understand? You know, it's just like, man, it's so fucking weird and so fucked up. But I went through a period, because I loved that movie when I first saw it. and I loved it for years. And I fell in love with the original after that. This was actually, well, it may have been 3 that I saw first, but this was definitely one of the earlier Chainsaw movies that I first saw when I was younger. And then I saw the original, and that became one of my all-time favorite movies. And then I went through a period there, in my 20s where like I started listening to everybody else tell me how bad this movie was. So I just kind of assumed like, okay, maybe I was young and I didn't get it. And I didn't watch it for a while. I was just like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Doesn't make sense. And then I went back and rewatched it, and I was just like, I'm entertained, and I love every fucking second of this movie. Like the performances, the dialogue in it. Like some of the performances are a little stilted. Like when the guy says, "Please, mister, you're scaring me." Like it's not good, but at the same time, it's just like, fuck it. Like, who cares? Like
we laughed at that even then. Apparently, I don't know if that was one of them, but Kim Hinkle really wanted to cartoonize some of them, and kind of at times he wanted to be like a satire and things like that.
It's a dark comedy, and in the same way that Tobe Hooper always talked about the original being a dark comedy, but nobody saw it as that. But he still thinks of it as very funny in many ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a prom night movie. It just has a lot going on in it, and that's a comfort movie for me. That's a good time movie that I put on and I just feel good. and there's some chilling moments when McConaughey's trying to intimidate Renee in the truck, and and she's like the last one, and and there's just so many cool details in it. And I love the girlfriend, the real estate agent.
Oh yeah.
Darla,
because you don't know if she's like full bore in on it, like where she's like, I'm all for this, or she's like on Renee's side. You don't know who the hell, like what's going on, because at times she's like, okay, like come get her, I thought you'd bring a gunny sack or something, like, well, what are you doing, get her, where's my gun, like she's kind of just like the cook in the original. He's like half in half out, where he's like enjoying the torture, but then every now and then he kind of snaps to, and he's just like, okay, enough of this. Like, I don't want to torture the poor girl. Let's just get it over with. But at the same time, it's like the character, like it's all there, man. I don't know.
And she uses the clapper to turn off her lights in her office, like just things like that. And she gets a vegetarian pizza for herself, and everyone else is getting meat lovers.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny to me. And you go home. This was a good commentary on what you see people outside and what they are at home. And at one point, she's in this S&M bondage outfit and so casual about it.
She just looks roughed up. It's like she roughed herself up a little bit just to be like, this is who I really am type of thing. Whereas,
Yeah. And she has like runs in her nylons. And there's a scene where McConaughey smacks her and she goes, "You're embarrassing me in front of company." Like they're so concerned. Like that matters, but so fucked up. So there's just so much dark humor in it. And I think it's gonna have the audience.
My favorite line, it just hits perfectly when she's telling Renee Zellweger's, she's just like, he put this little thing in my head, and all he has to do is hit one button, and then, and Renee's just like, and she's like, there is nothing in your head, girl. You just said a mouthful. And then she starts laughing a little bit. It's like even she's kind of succumbed to the whole thing. Like, I don't know. I just love the idea.
Exactly.
And it explains the original too, of like why they kept Sally tied up. If you're going with the Illuminati conspiracy, if you know anything about that, it's like you gotta, invoke as much fear into these people as possible so you can get their blood, and it's the adrenochrome theory or whatnot. So it makes sense as like why they were keeping Sally and torturing her as much as possible to get her as far gone as she was, so when they start hammering her in the fucking bucket, that's what they're going for. They're trying to get the blood, and that's what they're trying to do with Renee. But she wises up to it. She's not falling for it anymore. She's not scared anymore. She says, "You sit the fuck down. I'm leaving, and there's nothing you're fucking gonna do about it." Because they know they can't kill her. She knows they can't kill her. She's figured that out.
Yeah.
Because they need her.
Yeah.
Or they're not gonna do their job, and then then they're fucked. So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
it. I
and
don't know.
I do. I love the end when she's kind of catatonic and she looks over and she sees Sally on the gurney. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was really a cool touch.
Sally
Like
on the
they both kind of look
gurney.
at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird turn too, because it's three cameos there. It's Sally, Marilyn Burns, who's credited as anonymous in the credits, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jim Dugan, grandpa from the original, he's playing the sheriff that's talking
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
And then the guy pushing the gurney is actually Paul Partain, Franklin from the original.
Right.
So
That's so cool.
I love the turn there of Franklin pushing an immobile Sally, or as opposed to in the original. I was just like, I don't know, man. It's too fucking cool. I don't know.
Another cool Easter egg, right? And I
Yeah.
think they need to start doing screenings of this. Like, I think people need to watch it with an audience. You know, I don't know. I think it will. I hope it gains more traction. I don't know. I don't know enough people. Like the guy at conventions, there's the people that run the Texas Chainsaw Massacre booth, and they're really wishy-washy about it. But I know that there are fans out there, and it's in a way I don't care. But like, if I can turn more people onto it, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Which I know
a fun
Scream
one.
Factory did the Blu-ray years back, which is a fairly decent Blu-ray, but there's a lot out there, that you could do a new release of if you want to put it out on 4K or whatever. But again, it's like, will they let it happen type of thing, which you actually, you actually met Matthew McConaughey and asked him about it, and you said you would tell me what he said about it if I got you on. So.
Oh, I did. That was my ploy. No, yes, I
so pay up,
Matthew McConaughey. Exactly. Okay, so I did get to meet McConaughey. It was really funny because it was for his poem book, and I was not there for that. But so I'm in line, and I wear my Chainsaw Next Generation shirt because I'm like, I'm doing this, and I'm going in. And I was actually kind of scared. I was like, I wonder if anyone's going to kick me out for wearing this, because you never know. He's so,
no.
They're so
change your shirt.
about it.
Yeah.
Go change your shirt and you come back. Who knows, right? Anything. And I'm in line, and there's all these people that are. I'm sorry, but they were douchebags. A lot of people in this line to meet him were just so self-righteous, and they were so about him and other asked like, "Oh, I love you." Blah, blah, blah. And a part of me is like chiming in. I'm like, "You ever seen this one?" And they're like, "What's that?" Like, no one's heard of it. Like, but everyone just likes all his. I don't know. I don't even remember anymore. But so anyway, and they break us into groups, and the point was you go up to meet him. You can't get anything signed, but you get to see him, take a photo with him. He hands you his book, and you go, and the book is signed. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. Fuck yeah, So I go, and I remember my turn is coming up, and I see him, and he's almost like a wax figure because he's exactly Matthew McConaughey. Looks just like there's like no mistake. Like it's him, and he's coiffed, and it's McConaughey, and he's tall, and so I'm going up, and I'm seeing how fast it's going. So I'm like, I got a window of maybe 10 seconds if I'm lucky. So this is all coming out. So like I go up to him, and he goes, "Hi," and he shakes my hand. He's like, "Matthew," and I go, "I wore my Texas Chainsaw 4 shirt because it's my favorite movie of yours, and it's the best thing ever." I said it like really fast. Woo!
Oh, no.
That's how good it was. That's how good my story is. Wow. That's.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh wow. That's how passionate I am. So I tell him all this, and then I don't even know what to. Oh wait, let's see if I'm back.
You're good.
Am I back?
You're good.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, you're good.
I see him, and I go, okay, cool. I go, favorite movie ever, blah blah, and he looks at me and goes, hey, whoa, the mechanical leg, and he starts kicking his leg like that, and then I kind of give him a hug, and then we just turn and we take the photo, and I said thanks, and he gives me the book, and I run away. But he acknowledged it. He laughed, and I'm like, is he gonna punch me? You know, like, but
Or he's gonna give you the old like,
and then
oh, you know.
yeah, exactly. But no, he was genuinely surprised. He kind of had this look like, and you know, and he just was actually sweet. He did the leg movement, which was cool.
Yeah.
He like motioned it, and okay, so it wasn't much, but like to me, that was a lot, you know, because you were not going to get much out of him, you know, and
Yeah.
you had 10 seconds, you know. So I did what I did. I love the picture. It's on my refrigerator, and he was actually really nice about it, and I had him acknowledge it, and that was kind of my goal. You know what I mean? So that was my McConaughey.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay,
Just the
so
fact that he would like
McConaughey-
do the fucking leg movement is says something that, you know, because
was
Satan's
cool.
asking, is Matthew ashamed of the movie? He's not at all. I've actually heard him talk about it in
Yeah.
interviews where he talks about how much fun it was and how much of a good time he had on set. So yeah, he's not ashamed of
His
it at all.
agents were.
Yeah.
His agents made a big deal about it. And even with the Scream Factory release, they wouldn't let them be on the cover. So they took them off the cover, and which was really bizarre that this still has this kind of traction and stuff around it that, you know, makes it kind of controversial, which is really interesting. I actually donated to Scream Factory on a loan my trailer to put as a special feature, and they did it. So the trailer you're seeing on there was for my collection.
That's
and that was the
awesome.
return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer, which was unique. So that
Which
was,
name do you
know,
prefer? Which name do you prefer? Return or Next Gen?
Return sounds more classic, but when you watch the movie, it's Next Gen because it's so out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you need an out there name to go with it. Return's too safe.
I agree.
You know?
I'm a next generation. You know, I'm a next generation guy too. I think that's
and you're not getting a return. Like it's nothing like the first one in that regard. You're getting literally a new generation of people and what they're up to now, if you will. And I think the name fits it perfectly, you know. But yeah, McConaughey was really nice, and I met Renee Zellweger. She was really sweet, and I hope to meet them again. I want to get some autographs. But yeah, pretty cool.
That'd be a rare signature. Fucking Matthew McConaughey on a which you have all kinds of shit to get signed. You got an original script signed by a bunch of people. Like I didn't know anybody was into this movie as much as you could be into this movie. Like I knew people that I was like, I feel like I'm one of the only people that really likes this movie. And then like you're like, no, check this out. And it's like you have just a ridiculous collection of Texas Chainsaw Next Generation shit. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I'm past even being like embarrassed with what a nerd I am about it. I'm just embracing it. Like, like that's like this is me, man.
Just, yeah, man. Let it be your thing.
The script I have, by the way, belonged to actor Tyler Cohn, who played the jock in the movie, the asshole Barry with the sledgehammer. It was his script. Barry. It was his script. It is signed by everyone on the night it wrapped. So it's all out to Tyler Cohn. So everyone's on it. McConaughey, Zellweger, Robert Jacks, everybody.
And I was going to ask if Robert was on there because he passed away like not long after they finished, right?
No, yeah, he did, and it was a shame because he was a big fan of the movie, and I think him and I would have gotten along great. He's actually the first openly gay actor to play Leatherface, so I thought that was amazing. You know, just giving someone else a shot. And he was really good friends with Blondie, Debbie Harry, so she did a song for the soundtrack. And Renee Zellweger, her boyfriend at the time, was the lead singer of a band called Pariah. So a lot of their music is on the movie as well. So,
Ah,
a little tit for tat, right? So
yeah,
it
yeah.
was definitely a family affair, all this stuff going on, so
Hmm.
pretty cool. And Tyler Cohn shared with me, didn't make it on the Blu-ray because they couldn't get clearance from McConaughey or Zellweger's agents. But
Hmm.
who's the guy that runs the zombie tour? I have a little bit of him and me
Oh,
too, because
Larry.
I have this
Larry.
footage. Yeah, I have this footage. But Tyler Cohn had a camcorder on set for a lot of it, and there's a lot of home movies of him with the cast, and he was very
Oh,
sweet enough
wow.
to let me see it. And it's so special, and it's sad that it didn't make it on the Blu-ray, but maybe on another release.
Yeah,
But really
it's one of those.
special.
There's already a really good like making of documentary from back in the day that's out there that's really
Love
fun to
that one.
watch. This is one of those movies, like I was saying, like, yeah, we got the Scream Factory years ago, but this is one of those movies that I think would really benefit from like a retrospective documentary on like how it was made. I mean, really ask Kim Hinkle, like, where did the Illuminati stuff come from? Like, where were you at on this? Like, what were you thinking? Like, really dig into it, talk to the actors, and go into like why it was delayed, and there's such a story there. There's so many interesting avenues you could go down with a documentary on this movie that I think that would, maybe, I don't know, introduce it to a new generation, no pun intended, of newer, younger viewers that because there's a whole younger generation of horror fans that have probably just dismissed this movie because they've always heard, oh, that movie's awful. Don't just skip it. Like, that's what happened to me with a lot of movies growing up, like Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Refused to watch that movie growing up. Refused. Oh, Michael Myers isn't in that movie. Like, who gives a shit? And then I finally watch it when
Yeah.
I'm in my 20s, and I'm like, this movie's great. Like, what are people talking about? Like, yeah, there's no Michael Myers, but fuck it, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's some people haven't even heard of it. The next generation, because it's actually really hard to find, which is
Yeah.
a part of its bizarre lore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, and they should do another documentary. I mean, I should make it, but like, there's a lot that could
There
be
you go.
said about it still, and the commentary on the Blu-ray, it's kind of an Easter egg because it wasn't announced on the jacket. It's good. It's Kim Hinkle, and he's
Mm-hmm.
saying what he can say about it. There's a couple
Mm-hmm.
parts where it's very quiet because they bleeped it out,
Like, cut it
but
out.
he says, which is really interesting. But I think he says what he can about the film, and they do address that.
Yes.
You would think Renee and Matthew would help the movie, but it didn't. It actually
Yeah.
backfired, which is bizarre.
But it's
But yeah,
it's so weird because it's not like complete taboo that like
so,
people that would go on to be big stars got their start in a horror film. Like, there's so many instances of that through the years, especially in the 80s. I mean, I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
not a porno. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like uh,
it's not the Italian Stallion with Sylvester Stallone or anything. It's it's a
and
fucking horror
these
movie.
actors aren't even nude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not nude. Jennifer Aniston's not nude in Leprechaun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many. This fascinates me, by the way. A-listers from a certain era, which is particularly the 80s and the 90s. There's a lot of them that started in horror movies, horror sequels, and they were so not willing to talk about it for a long time. Some are
Hmm.
now, like Kevin Bacon is, but that's your cool cred. But there was something
Yeah.
about that then. It was so lower tier to make. I think it's changed now. I think it doesn't have to be more. It's come a long way, and so
Hmm.
the cool ones, I think, embrace.
Yeah,
In my
I
opinion.
think I think conventions have also helped that too with a lot of these actors where they're not getting the work that they used to because maybe they've aged out or whatever the reason is. And now they know, oh well, shit, I can go work a convention for a weekend and make 50 grand. Like, I can do that. Like, why not? Um Satan's got a good point here. Last time a director talked about the Illuminati, he got got unalived with R.I.P. Stanley Kubrick. I didn't say it, but
maybe that's why they're like, I didn't make that. Yeah, that's so funny. But hey, if McConaughey does a convention, I'm there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, man, we're over 3.5 hours. Oh, I think you could.
Oh,
I think you could. I was just saying, we're
about
3.5 hours in, so I don't want to keep you too much longer, man. This has been a blast.
No, thank you so much. And I'm sorry about the hiccups. I usually don't do it in this room, but thanks for bearing with me. Embarrassing.
No, it's all good, man. I'm used to it. Like I was saying while you were offline, it was like I just done a recording for a new video that I'm working on. Hopefully, it'll be out later this week with Larry. And it was just like nonstop technical issues. So it was just like, yeah, it's just par for the course with trying to do this shit over StreamYard. So, but it worked out, and I had a great time. And you're welcome to come back anytime. Like next time we do a round table or something like that, you're more than welcome to join in, man.
I'm here, and I'll be with better internet. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Well,
bye, guys.
We're gonna let Greg out. Thanks to the chat, everybody. Fun hearing you guys chime in with some fucking hilarious comments. Glad you guys dug this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you here on that one, Satan, but we'll save that for another time. But everybody, make sure hit that like button, subscribe if you're watching this for the first time. You guys know the drill. Check out the memberships, shop.alfaromero.store. Check out the t-shirt designs. I came up with a couple of new ideas tonight I'll work on, actually. So it's been a very productive night. So, but yeah, appreciate it, guys. And I'll be back next weekend with the Martin commentary. I know Greg's not going to watch that one. He's not. He's Martin commentary. Yeah. Wow. No thanks. Fuck that. I'll be busy next weekend. I promise. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back next weekend. Martin fan commentary live next Saturday night. But until then, everybody knows the drill. Stay safe, stay prepared, and always stay scared.
We must not be lulled by the concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not. They will not respond to such emotions.
What the hell are they?
They're us, that's all. With no more room in hell. They must be destroyed on sight.